Hello and welcome to DCP Live, episode number 169, kicking off the new year 2020, right?
I'm so excited.
Right? We got Glad on the show. Welcome back, Glad.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hi. Thank you for having me back.
Thanks
Glad
for
is still drunk from New Year's.
Yeah.
still blitzed from a New Year's party, right?
We'll just use that excuse the whole show. I'm not actually sick.
Right. It's
Alcohol
all
just
a state
never
of
left
mind. You're not really still sick and low on energy. You're super drunk.
Yeah.
You know what? Think of the goal line, Glad. The minute this show's over, you're going to be able to just slide into bed. Think of how good that's going to feel.
Oh, and my bed is right there.
Oh, it's like
I
literally
can toss
staring
these.
at you.
I can toss these ibuprofen that I'm taking because I'm so drunk
Right.
right on my bed.
I like you're taking pills on the show. Oh, fantastic.
Sometimes you got to
Great
medicate.
start.
Frankie's having a meltdown. He's like, "Oh God, we don't know what that is. Twitch might think it's ecstasy.
No,
oh God,
yeah,
what are we
right.
doing?
No, I'm
what are
not
we doing?"
I like where this head. I like where the show's headed.
We got a new
There we go.
sponsor,
We're
I mean,
Walgreens.
we all have our decoy.
That's where I put my.
I
meth,
like that
too.
one. That one's good.
That's
Go on
hilarious.
Amazon using code DCP.
Speaking of New Year's, how was everyone's New Year's?
Everyone's
Ours
It just was, I guess.
Pajama
it,
and
it
onesie.
happened midnight.
thing.
Oh, so I have a fun story that I wasn't there for, but like sort of. So every year, Seattle at the Needle does like this giant fireworks display off the Needle. The wind was so windy, it was 29 miles per hour, that they couldn't do the fireworks display.
Ooh,
Oh,
So
that's
they had a
sad.
light show. They were like, "Don't worry, the light show is amazing." And the
Yeah.
light show is supposed to just be like the background for the fireworks. So we were watching it and we're like, "This is pretty lame."
Not amazing.
But it's
Was it a
pretty
laser
bad.
light show, or were they like?
Kind of.
they
There
have,
was
like,
some
light
lasers in
bulbs?
the air doing stuff, but like mostly the needle was changing color. So yeah, everyone who was standing there waiting for the fireworks to start, everyone who booked a suite at a hotel that could see the fireworks, I'm sure they had a great
Bummer.
time.
That's right.
I saw an awesome video. It was, I think it was Shanghai, but double check me. But it was, instead of fireworks, they did all aerial drones. They had,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know, 200
Yeah.
of them, all doing like patterns in the sky. It was really
really-
impressive.
I heard about that.
It
yeah.
is
Really cool.
That's
That
really
might
cool.
have
They're all,
not
like,
worked
lit
in
up
our.
and stuff.
What's that?
So the drones were all just like lit up.
Yeah, they were lit up, and they had like they were like RGB drones, so they could do
Uh.
they could go in different directions and form different like things, but also do different colors. It was
It's
really
crazy,
cool.
yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
see this one, but I had seen, I don't know, in the past year or two that this technology exists where it like, it controls hundreds and whatever of
Yeah.
drones and they
Yeah.
form shapes and it's all, I think they did something, maybe Olympics or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I think
Is
they
that the
did some
Olympics?
with the Olympics. Yeah,
Yep.
It was probably that.
it's
but
really impressive
it's cool.
technology. Like they can do like animated flags waving in the wind. They could do like running people. It's all sorts of cool stuff.
I would have assumed
Yeah.
that was at Base Nectar, Glad. I thought they'd
No.
be doing that by now, like just drones over the crowds.
Drone show.
No drones, but we had a blast. We hung out with a bunch of people. Chevy was there. I know you guys know him.
Hey.
Nice.
Mm.
Yeah. Is he the one that never played D1? I can't remember.
He never played
Oh,
D1.
God.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. He
No,
never played
that can't-
D1.
No, that can't
Dude,
be
low
heavy.
key, dude.
Yeah, we tried to get him to play it a couple times, but I don't think he's going to.
He should.
Got him.
Chevy, you're not allowed back on the show until we play D1.
Yeah. You have to have beaten all the raids
cool.
in D1. All right. It's the requirements now. Yeah.
We
We
will immediately forget we ever said that the next time we need help through a raid.
definitely. Yes.
Yeah, sir, can you help us finish out this raid? I'm sorry for leaving.
But yeah, Glad. What was the setup? Was it like New Year's Eve at the show? That was
Yeah,
it.
so
Right? It wasn't
every
the day
year-
before.
Nah, every year Bass Sector does a show. He's my favorite producer and DJ. And he puts his stage in the middle of like a huge arena.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's cool.
And the stage spins and everybody sits and stands around him. So he calls
Cool.
it New Year's Eve 360 or Bass Nectar 360. I went for the first time in like 2014, and I've gone every year since.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
That's cool.
It's just so much fun. I just like live music and I like his music. So
Nice. That's really cool.
That's awesome.
I like having events that I go to every year because you start to like see the same people every year and you start making like event friendships. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? where
Yeah.
I only see these people at this event, but I recognize them like the second year, and then the third year, I'm like, hey, and then all of a sudden you get like a new friend that you
Yeah, it's
only
kind
see
of like
once a
this
year.
podcast. See you
Yeah,
once a
for
week.
sure.
I'm like,
Right. When I lived in LA, we'd go to all these shows because friends were always performing, and it was kind of like
were
that.
they 420 shows, Tefty?
Some of them
Were
were
they-
definitely 420 and a lot. Yes, they were professionals. But yeah, but it was always nice getting to
Professional
catch up.
podists.
It was nice getting to catch up
Botanists.
with those
I
people
like
at those shows because you'd see them regularly and chat. It was fun. I miss those days. Yeah,
So wait, Tef, did you just stay at home or
yeah, we had a low key New Year's, but it was nice.
didn't you stream or something?
Yeah, streamed until
Yeah.
about like 11 o'clock my time. Then hung out with memes.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
That's actually nice sometimes to play
Mhm.
chill. I actually
That's like me every year. but
wanted to.
it's
Did you
fun.
do that too, Watts?
Yes.
I
Yes, I
wanted to do that. Like actually every bone in my body before. I was just like, I like part of it was I pictured myself earlier in the year. I'm like, I just want to go somewhere, you know, and because that didn't happen, I was sort of like, I don't know. I've done all the house party stuff before, so I didn't leave till like almost 10:30. But I
Well, you were
stayed
pre-gaming.
out like late. Yeah, I stayed out. No, I wasn't. I was
No?
literally, like making dinner at 9:30.
Ah.
It was kind of sad. But it was also like a pajama like onesie
Oh.
party thing.
I
which
could,
was
Oh.
I could
interesting.
get down with
Yeah.
that kind of party. I get to
Yeah.
stay in my pajamas. You might
you
get me
have
to
to
leave
put
the
your
house
keys in
if
a
you
bowl
say the
when you got in there?
pajamas.
Yeah, I brought my backpack actually for just that reason. I was like, I'm not carrying this stuff around. It was at the Kind of Funny Studios. So it was
Briar, he
like,
doesn't get it. He doesn't get it, Briar.
What? You said put your keys in the bowl. Like, I thought you just meant because you wouldn't carry them in like your pants.
Yeah. That's why you put the keys in the bowl.
Oh, you're right. I don't get it. Explain to me after.
Google key party when you get a chance.
Google what?
Key party.
Keep.
I don't know what key party is.
Yeah,
either.
I'm
I've
unfamiliar.
heard of this.
I mean, have you heard of people putting keys in a bowl for some type of activity?
I recall hearing about this, but I don't know what it is.
I am unfamiliar.
anymore.
All right, I'm gonna explain it real quick. So a key party is basically like a spouse swap. You go to a
I
party,
figured, yeah.
you put your keys in it, and then
You
you
go
kind of
home
pass
with-
around the bowl, and like
Okay.
all the guys put the keys in the bowl, and then all the women pick the keys out of the bowl, and then you go home with whoever keys you picked
Got
out
your
of the bowl.
keys.
Right.
Interesting.
Gotcha.
Gotcha, keys
You
gotta
know a
come
lot
with
about
me.
this, bro.
It's
I'm
like
about it.
kidnapping, but fun.
So Watts and Briar are super informed on this topic.
Now, if I don't have a spouse, does that just mean that I just get to take somebody else's home and they don't get one?
Well, somebody's gonna
Yeah.
be pissed at you.
Yeah.
I think it's
I think you better
That would have to
consult
be a-
Craigslist, get a date to bring to it.
You can bring Chevy.
Yeah.
It needs to be a swingles. So that's a swinger party. It's got to be swingles. Only works
Swingles.
with
What's
us.
that, friend? You seem to know about swingles.
You can't flip that on me.
I don't know about swingles.
Neither do I. I'm gonna Google swingles and see.
Oh my god.
I sat on the couch with my wife and watched The Curse of Oak Island. If you're not familiar with the show, it's been running for 7 seasons. We marathoned about a full season, which is like 22 hours. So we didn't watch a whole season. But it's about a group of people in Nova Scotia looking for pirate treasure, or they think it's pirate treasure. They actually have no idea who buried a treasure there, or if there's a treasure there at all. But they've managed to make 7 seasons out of this, and it's actually pretty fascinating.
Nice.
And we made fun of the people on the show a lot, because that's what we do when we're sitting on the couch together.
I've heard about
Pretty
that.
rude.
I haven't actually watched it.
It's fun. It's a fun show.
Nice.
I don't know if they're ever going to find that treasure, but it's fun to watch. them
One of
try.
these years.
One day.
Somebody should
happening.
plant like a fake treasure there. And then be like,
Right?
oh, it's a treasure. We found it.
Our theory is that there was a treasure there that was deposited by the Knights Templar, okay?
Yes.
But the American government in like 1770 went and dug it up to pay for the Revolutionary War.
I thought you were gonna say to pay for the hiding of aliens, but that
No.
worked. Yeah.
Aliens, come on. That's ridiculous.
Okay.
But yeah, that's our current theory.
Okay.
Sounds plausible.
Yeah.
That's why it's 7 seasons long instead of just one.
Yeah.
Well, they found wood that's like dated to 1770 on the island, like structures
Some
built
things
of
add
wood.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. Some things add up.
Okay.
Isn't that the story of National Treasure? Is that the story of National Treasure?
Probably some sort of like amalgamation of it.
Yeah. So not a lot to talk about Destiny, I guess.
Right.
Oh, there was Iron Banner. Come on now.
Iron
Iron Banner happened. Yeah.
Everybody loves Iron Banner.
Yeah, I didn't play a single game.
I
was
didn't hate
away. I was away the
That's
whole
true.
week. Yeah, it happened right during like my holiday break.
Yeah, people were pretty upset about that because it happened like what New Year's Eve, right? Is when it started. So it covered like the whole break of when normally
Christmas
people are
Eve.
visiting family. Or,
Yeah, no,
Christmas Eve. Yeah, sorry, Christmas Eve.
Yeah, it's the same.
So it just covered like the whole holiday period. So a lot of people were like, I hate this because I'm not home, so I'm not gonna be able to play.
But a lot of people get Destiny for Christmas, so I'm sure like an influx of
Yeah.
new players hit Destiny like over
In
that
the banners?
break.
Yeah. Well, luckily SPMM
experience you
kicks
want.
in, so you don't
Yeah,
actually
you think
see
they're
those new
going
players.
straight in?
They're gonna get matched up with each other, though, right?
Maybe.
What is the current state of skill-based matchmaking in Iron Banner?
Seems to be pretty high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the last time I tried to play Iron Banner with like a pretty blueberry account was in Destiny 1 days, and I was trying to rank up my Xbox character fast.
Mhm.
So I went to Iron Banner, and it was 2 headshots with a sniper rifle to kill anybody.
Mm.
And skill-based matchmaking was not in effect anyway that I could tell. I don't know. It's hard to
Yeah.
tell actually. When it takes you 2 snipes to kill somebody with a headshot, like everybody seems like they're pretty good at the game. To be honest,
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
I didn't actually hate it. Oh, I think there's been this thing going on, right? Is that Classic Mix is known to have no skill-based matchmaking. So
Okay.
all the super sweaty people go there to find people to beat up on.
Right.
But then all the people don't want to get beat up on, so they go play everything else. So you're actually more likely to find a wider range of games in like Iron Banner or Control or Clash because everyone's going sweaty hunting
Yeah.
in Classic Mix. Because every time I go in Classic Mix now, I'm like, dear God, this feels worse than Iron Banner every time.
But wait,
So,
I thought we didn't want skill-based matchmaking in Classic Mix.
The problem though is that it's tucked off to the side, and only the sweaty people know about it. Like
Yeah,
a new
it's in the
person.
sides over here.
Yeah, a new person isn't going to be like, oh, I should go to the playlist that is not going to connect me on SPMM. They're going to be straight to Control or something like that, and they're never going to
Yeah.
experience that bubble.
Is there any in-game language that says it doesn't have skill-based matchmaking?
It does
Like,
say if you
didn't know?
hover over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have you ever read that stuff, Brian?
No.
Same. Same.
Otherwise, I wouldn't ask that question. I would
Yeah.
have said, "Well, if you hover over it."
I'm notorious for that. Like I constantly hover over things and like read half of it and then ignore the rest.
Definitely. Well, when you're
I
streaming,
read
as well,
I go through
it's-
I go to a quest. I read the lore, and then at the end, it tells you what to do. I don't read the part where it tells me what to do. I read the lore, and I'm like, guys, I don't understand.
Same.
Yeah, I've done that a lot. And then they're like, no, you have to be on Nessus. I'm like, really? Where? It doesn't say that. Oh, it says right there.
They didn't say that in
Every
the
time.
story I just
Yeah.
read. Jeez.
That I spaced out halfway through and started reading chat.
Yeah.
So glad.
So what are the-
No Iron Banner for you then.
Okay.
For me?
Yeah.
No, 0.
Are you
I barely did.
Yeah, were you
anything.
sad about that?
Are you a fan of Iron Banner?
I didn't lose sleep over it. I wasn't too
Rightly
upset
so.
about it. Although I generally don't mind Iron Banner, believe it or not. I know people complain. The only thing I minded was doing the quest once, but you only have to do it one time, which is nice.
Yeah.
If you had to do something like that every single week, or every single time it's around, I wouldn't enjoy it as much.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not a fan of things that force you to use specific weapons. I wouldn't mind quest steps that force you to use weapon types or just get kills or wins in general, but I don't like things that force you to use specific weapons.
Yeah. I saw I
Yeah.
think I saw Goth tweet, like, how about change the quest to like get kinetic kills, then special kills,
Mhm.
and then heavy
So you can
kills.
use what you want.
and then super kills, and you're good, as opposed to being
Yeah.
like a rocket launcher where everybody's going to play just annoying, like pop.
Yeah, it changes the meta.
Exactly, because it forces it basically, because everyone's generally like on the same step, kind of, at least early on, and you just have this really annoying play style that
Mhm.
forces you to play in ways that you don't want to play. So people are already frustrated because it's PvP and people are competitive, and then you're forced to use these guns that you don't want to have to use against really annoying players who are using other goofy things. And Not a fan of that personally.
It's a give and take, though, isn't it? Because, like, in a way, Bungie's saying, "Hey, you guys always complain that everybody's always using the same weapons, so we're gonna like give you incentive to use different weapons." This week, it happens to be a rocket launcher, but some weeks it'll be a submachine gun, some weeks it'll be a scout rifle.
That's what I was just about to say. Like, the intention is good, right? It's like we pretty much use the weapons we want to use, and there tends to be an existing meta. I mean, even if there's a little give and take, like somebody's up to something with a machine gun or whatever it is that they're probably using in that slot. But so like seeing some rockets wouldn't be bad. It'd be cool if there was a way to diversify the bounty in a way that like it wasn't just rockets for everybody, but it was like a dynamic bounty, and you like picked it up and it became
so it had RNG
the
to
RNG itself. Yeah, and it was like this is what you've been given. That would be cool because then it'd be a wild ride, I think. And
That would be a wild
like,
ride.
Wild
would
card.
also
I like it.
suck if somebody else got a scout and you got a sidearm.
Depends on what the reward is. That's a good point because somebody might be like, "Oh, sweet," and then you're like, "Well, I do not want to use linear fusions or whatever it is."
I got it. All they have to do is create a new game mode and call it gun game. And every time you get a kill, you switch guns automatically. You don't have a choice of what the next gun is. It just
there you
gives
go.
it to you.
That'd be neat.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
what happens if you get a kill with that gun?
Then you get a different gun.
No way.
Yeah, the first person to get like 15 kills with 15 different guns wins the game.
This sounds revolutionary.
Right? I think it's the first time anybody's ever thought of it.
Wow. Now, and what is it, like 20, 30 guns, and you have to do it all in one match, right?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Love it.
One match.
Good God.
And at the end, you could get everyone the hunter throwing knife. That'd be fun.
Yes.
People like
Oh,
that.
One-
Yeah, then it has to be a grenade kill, a melee kill, and a super kill to finish it off. And if you don't complete it, the bounty resets and you have to start over next time.
Yes.
No, if you
And
get
That's it.
killed with a gun, then it resets you back to your last gun.
Yeah.
No, if you
And
get
actually,
melee.
the last,
It's if you get melee.
Melee. Yeah, you're right. Melee.
and the last gun is actually anarchy. And you have to get a double kill with it.
A double kill.
Double kill with anarchy?
Yo, that's
Now
You
you
rough.
got to
have to-
chain up a door and bait
No,
people.
Too far,
that's
Brandon,
just
too
me.
far.
You have to trap them in like a triangle.
My God.
No.
On that same topic, actually, I heard a lot of people, chasing the pinnacle fusion. That they were talking about how everybody's using Arbalest and how that may be even worse than Banner changes how PvP is. Like everybody who's newer to the game, that gives them something to do. But now everybody's using Arbalest. Or how do you guys feel about that existing? Do you feel like it's okay? And then how do they fix it if it is a problem?
I was pretty
First,
annoyed.
is it okay?
I was pretty annoyed over
I hate
Arbalest.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Personally.
It was pretty annoying because you turn around the
Yeah.
corner, you'd see 6 lights shining. You're like, well, never mind.
Yeah, and by the
It's
end
like
of
you just
it,
opened a Mars door in Destiny 1 and
by the end of it, I'm like, I've got PTSD from the sound of that thing like charging up everywhere around the
Yep.
corner. I'm just like, oh my God, I hate that gun
all
now.
you hear
Yeah,
when you go into Crucible.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how they could change it to make it if they would still want to go down that path, but
Yeah, because if you like the gun they choose, you're probably, oh, cool, it's hand cannons, right? Or whatever. You're like,
I
fine.
think they would have to make, like Goth said, they'd have to make it not specific to a type of weapon. It would just maybe make the quest substantially longer.
then it doesn't
Like
do
getting
anything,
kills,
though.
getting wins. It doesn't do anything. It makes it
it's not themed
probably less
anymore.
interesting. It's not themed, yeah. But I don't know if what else you could really do.
it happened with grenade launchers, and that was awful. Having everybody run around with grenade launchers to get kills to try to get mountaintop.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I did have an idea, but I don't think the player base is big enough for it. But just like a match list, which is that you're on the quest, and so that you're getting potentially right into a game mode that's a little more like maybe tuned for it. Even if it's not tuned, but it's like I'm going off to do that. And if you want to go do that, cool. But then, but then I don't know how you'd keep them from doing it in the main one. Well, I
They
guess
can
you'd
call
have
it Rocket
to.
Arena.
Yeah, you'd have to do it in some like specific spot. Like I know that's ruins the intention, but I've just heard too many complaints about it. I feel like we do have to fix it at this point because I agree. I feel like at the beginning of every season, like this starts to happen, whether it's whatever mode it is, like it starts to be a problem.
well,
Even in
immediately.
Gambit, it's annoying, right? You get like somebody on your team who's clearly working on a quest who just has to get like shotgun kills.
shotgun
So he
kills.
doesn't.
Yeah.
He just
Yeah,
runs
then
around
it's
using a
not winning the
shotgun
match
for the
anymore.
entire quest. Doesn't worry about picking up motes. Doesn't worry about doing anything.
I was being super toxic, running triple shotgun with like scavs, ammo finder, all that.
Yeah.
And
Of course,
I was
because
running around with 15 modes,
get it done.
not Karen. Like,
Yeah.
Well, that's what happened in Iron Banner, right? They'd see heavies coming up. Everyone would be like, screw capturing the point. Heavy's coming up. I'm going heavy. So if then someone's just in there just playing Iron Banner, they're like, friends, what are you doing? Can you help me? But on the other hand, it's kind of funny when there's like 5 people standing on heavy and you super it.
that's true.
Right.
Yeah. I think what happens is it creates these like mini fake metas that show up in the game. That definitely didn't change the meta, but people are using it because they have to get this quest done. And there's definitely some pros to that, but I think there's a lot more cons than pros.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, part of it is like, I don't know. Do we feel that doing, like, is this the way we want to do these quests? Like, would you guys, I haven't thought this through, obviously, but I'm like, for a PvP pinnacle, like, you know, it'd be cool if we got more to the mission-based quest type stuff somehow, whatever that means, you know. I just feel like it's literally just, they're all bounty-based, and I feel like there's got to be some other path to it. I don't know what it is, but we've had bounty-based stuff since Destiny 1, and like maybe there's a new door to open there. I don't know what it is, like I said.
Yeah.
Because like in PvE, you have a lot of options, right? You could put stuff in the world and this and that, but
Got it.
PvP
We got-
instantly. You see what I'm saying?
Here's what it is. Shax bestows upon you the horn, Shax's horn.
Yeah.
And you have to,
Okay.
Take my
The
horn.
broken one.
he bestows upon you the broken
it's like
horn.
Kieran and Rajang.
And you have to bathe it in the blood of other guardians in order to power it up.
Okay.
All right. So this,
Is this like a new
I like
melee?
this.
Can there be an animation of us actually rubbing the horn on the dead guardians? Can
yes,
this be the new
that's how you
teabag?
charge it up.
This
Once
is the new
Wonderful.
teabag,
once
rubbing
you-
your horn on
Rubbing
dead
I feel
bodies?
like
once you got the
banned for
kill,
rubbing your horn.
you got to run up.
Guardians.
You got to like smother their ghosts with Shax's horn. All right.
We're gonna be needing a new emote. Rubbing your horn.
You do this 100 times, you progress the horn quest. I don't know what
I
happens
like
next.
this. You hear? I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I
so
like where this
it's
is going.
basically just getting kills, right? Instead of just getting the horn quest and you get kills and you power it up, you have to actually rub it on people.
Yeah.
I like
It's
love it.
bestowing
I like
the
it.
energy of the traveler upon the horn of Shax. Obviously.
This is the way.
This is, yeah.
Horn rubbing.
I do think there's something there though. Like get like, you know, we don't even have like shooting gallery time, you know, trial stuff or whatever. But if you could take that quest in that example, it's like maybe go between 2 different things: PvP, jump out, get headshots quickly in some time trial thing with linear fusion, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They've definitely done
Hopefully
that
we
with
see some
exotic
creativity.
quests. It's just right now the it's not pinnacle. It's what is it? Ritual? What's the new name for
Oh yeah,
these
sorry,
weapons?
ritual weapons.
Ritual weapons, yeah. The ritual weapons have been watered down. Obviously, this season it's super easy to get all of them really quick, but it's just Arbalest, man. Arbalest was annoying.
Yeah, it needs to be addressed.
Yeah,
Is the only
I agree.
Yeah.
Is the only problem this season the linear fusion stuff, or you do think like the shotgun, the Python, or whatever has been an issue, and have they all been issues, or is it isolated?
The issue is always that it ends up changing the goals of whoever's playing to not be
Yeah.
effective towards the team. So the shotgun thing is if you have like 2 people doing the shotgun quest in Gambit and you're actually trying to win in Gambit, you're screwed. They're just running around getting kills with the shotgun. They're not banking motes, not caring about DPS and the boss or anything like that.
Yeah, it also wouldn't work, but you're almost getting towards like the sanctions that you see in Overwatch, or like imagine only some people could work on that at a time, and you'd have to be able to queue up for it, because the last thing I want to do is try to get in a match to work on a quest and then I can't. But,
Yeah.
there's hopefully some evolution of that in the future,
Agreed.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Evolution.
or you could just do like account recovery stuff and go pay somebody to get it. I'm kidding.
Just the counter cove. Jeez.
How much does that go? I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah, two
Got to go to eBay.
$2.50? Like
Search
$2.50?
Oh man.
All right.
Well,
Yeah.
it
The
is
banner was
interesting.
just that.
I do want to point out though, like for some reason, SBMM has gotten like another hot topic that's been going on.
I feel like it's every time the population drops. When the population is up there, everyone's like, hey, this connection-based matchmaking thing is awesome and amazing. And then the population drops and they're like, this connection-based matchmaking is gone. It's different. It's changed.
I feel like the majority of the problems that happen with SBMM in Destiny specifically is because it's peer-to-peer. And if it was legit dedicated servers, then and there's no BS that happens because of stretched connections on the people who are very vocal about it because they happen to be in the top 1% or whatever, then I feel like a lot of those complaints would get lessened.
Yeah, very possible. I'm still holding out hope that Destiny will be able to use Steam servers eventually, where they have like they're not dedicated per se, but they have like IP protection and stuff, and it's a bit more stable.
Oh, what a novel thought!
So I mean, that's actually not up to Bungie or Destiny at all, right? It's just like if Valve is willing to let Bungie use it and how far they can stretch that. So. Hopefully, I'm holding out hope that that's going to happen eventually.
Well, it is 2020. I don't know.
Especially as Destiny has been pretty popular on Steam.
That's true. Do you think Steam would actually want to?
So now they're like, I see what's going on here. Look a little pretty popular. Want some servers?
Right? Yeah. How about it?
Like a drug dealer, like opening up there. You like servers? We'll give you the first one for free.
We'll give you the first one when you hit 1 million concurrent.
Yeah.
Yo, did you guys see The Witcher hit 100,000 concurrent players?
Yeah,
I heard about that. That's wild.
I was like, holy smokes. So, sorry, not Destiny talk, but I was just like, what? That game's 6 years old. Not 6 years old. It's like 3 years old, but still, it's got more players now than it had when it launched.
It's amazing that a Netflix show influenced that much of the Steam chart.
Yeah.
So you're saying, Tafty, that you need to finish the theme song for the Destiny Netflix series so we can get some action going on.
I wonder how many of those players are people that have already played the game, then watched the show, then went back to play the game, and how many are actually new players.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be an interesting
love to know.
statistic. Yeah.
that's what
I
I
would
wanted
like
to
to know.
I'm not going to lie. I downloaded it on my Xbox so I could play it in the living room.
Well, we'll see.
Because I bet you it's a lot of returning.
Yeah,
for
sure.
We
should see
think
Steam sales at some point, so we'll kind of get
that's true.
some
Yeah.
idea.
So I could definitely see a lot of people returning, but I could also see a lot of people watching it and then being like, "Man, I heard that game was awesome. Maybe I should play that."
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Dude, Henry Cavill looking sexy.
So
he's a good looking guy.
I've only seen the first episode so far, and we actually watched it last night, and I was impressed.
That bathtub scene. Woo!
Was that in the first episode?
Too hot for TV. That's why it's got to be on Netflix.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
Was that not the first one?
I don't think so. I don't recall.
Spoiler alert.
No.
Spoiler alert, there's a bathtub.
I would have remembered naked Henry on there, definitely. Yeah, it's great. I'm impressed. I'm gonna watch obviously the first 7 episodes and not finish it. So, yeah.
Right.
You got to
That's
keep
the way
it
to do it.
That
Right?
sounds like you.
Yeah.
Back to the Destiny chatter, though. I actually did want to ask Glad, and I know that you're not feeling well, so my hope give you a little something to talk about.
We're good.
But yeah, what do you think of the new seasonal structure that you've seen so far? We've only seen one seasonal release in this new year of content. Do you what we've been asking a lot of people on the show, in other words, is what are we going to get next season? We don't always know. Now there seems to be a little more of a formula and expectation. We didn't get a raid, right? I don't think we suddenly can expect one next season. We're hearing about PvP, etc. But do you feel it's in a good place? Do you feel it's enough content for the price and so on?
So I think one thing that I see a lot of people sort of criticize is whenever we have a season that there's no raid, people kind of freak out. And I think that ultimately comes from the fact that, let's be honest, we were spoiled pretty heavily with all these raids. We got a lot of raids really early on in Destiny 2, which is, way more than anything we got in Destiny 1. So it kind of set a standard almost for Bungie to give us all these raids. And I don't think we're going to see that anymore, not at least to that level. I'm totally happy with at least one raid a year. You know, 2 would be nice, but I don't think we can sit here and expect one every season like that.
Yeah.
It's unrealistic.
As far as like seasonal content goes, I think there's pros and cons to both of it, to both sides. So, you know, as opposed to just getting a huge piece of content dropped on us, it's really nice to be overwhelmed for sure. But at the same time, there's also pros to, you know, feeding stuff to us every couple of weeks or every week. It does kind of make the game feel alive. So I see what they're doing with both, and it's really a tough situation to, you know, please everybody. Like, they're just not going to win no matter what they do for every single player.
Yeah.
So, you know, I want that huge piece of content, but at the same time, I also don't mind things being fed to us over the course of weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, and we do get dungeons now, I guess. Like before, we had raid layers that they were trying to figure out, and we're seeing.
I thought raid layers were a success. I thought most people really liked them.
I think they were too close to a raid in terms of the amount of work was the problem.
Yeah.
I think.
And then people were like, "Oh, is it a raid or is it a raid lair?" So it was always like this negative kind of connotation of them saying it's a raid lair, and they're like, "Oh, we want a raid." So it seemed, it takes like probably a similar amount of effort, right? There's still all that stuff you have to build for it, and encounter design and everything, but it's not as big of a payoff as a full raid. So maybe it's better to make dungeons and then do raids once a year.
Right.
Dungeons are so sick. I would,
They're sick.
I would almost replace like a raid with like a raid dungeon.
Yeah, that's actually what I prefer.
They're so cool, and the fact that you can solo them and they acknowledge it in game, which is something that Bungie doesn't do ever, you know, and it's some, you know, you don't need 6 people. You can just go in with 3, but you're still getting the sort of raid vibes and
rewards
atmosphere, and so it's really cool. I'm a huge fan of dungeons. I think both dungeons are excellent. At first, I was so used to Shattered Throne, and the new one came out and it wasn't quite as, you know, big, you know, just because you only had one boss, you always had 2. But I love the new dungeon now. I think it's wonderful. The more I played it, the more it like sort of wore on me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I keep bringing up this idea in question because like part of it's value, right? Like I think we're paying is a season pass $30 or something, or it's like what, $7 or $8 or something, a seasonal add-on.
Plus the cost of a VPN.
Cost of what?
Plus the cost of a VPN.
Cost of VPN. Great.
If you play in PC.
Your monthly subscription fee to play Destiny.
But it's such a random like comparison. Like I totally get it. Anyway, so what I was gonna ask is like, would you be willing? What if, assuming that they can pull it off, right? Would you be willing to pay maybe, I don't know if it's $9.99 a month, knowing that every quarter you get a dungeon, or is there a subscription model for Destiny that you'd be willing to pay a subscription? In other words, because remember though, we're buying. That's the part I haven't figured out, but like, do you think there's a model to get us more content by paying?
Fran, do you think that paying them more money would get us more content? You think that's
you have to assume that it would, because that to me that's like, that's a totally different discussion. I think that no, it's not that easy. It's like when you're creatively putting your heart and team into something, it takes years to figure it out, and then years.
If we made that assumption, I would say yes, I would pay more to get more content.
That's the question.
But
the assumption.
I don't know if that's a fair assumption.
No, it's not, but it's that we don't have subscription for the game. Like maybe could there be that layer that could get us there? Because again, like it's a free to play model, maybe that we think about expanding the audience, which is certainly something. But what if there's the other flip of it, which is what if you have enough subscribers who are just like always, you know, paying
I think it gets
$120 a year or whatever.
I think it gets tricky with consoles just because they're already paying for Xbox Gold and PlayStation Plus. So they're already paying each month, each year, every 3 months to be able to access the online. And then if you add another subscription on top of it, although we're already technically sort of paying a subscription with the season pass, it's not listed as a subscription. So I just feel like it's a hard sell to especially the console audience because they're not used to paying.
Yeah.
Are there any currently successful games that have a season or a monthly fee on console?
On console?
On console.
Isn't Final
Are
Fantasy?
there any games that do it?
Doesn't
Final Fantasy? Yeah, I think it does, right?
Yeah, that's successful on
15?
console. Or I think
Is it?
anyways.
Yeah.
I think people play it on console.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
14.
do. Yeah, I didn't realize it was subscription on there.
Is that the only one?
Might be.
Wow, is it $12.99 a month? Is that what it is? I'm like Googling it real fast, but interesting. If
So I think if Bungie felt like they could actually deliver those assets, the deliverables of actually having that much content every 3 months for whatever price it ends
Right.
up being, I think they would. But I don't think that's the issue of getting paid enough to be able to do that. I think it's having the right teams organized to be able to produce that type of content and being enough months or years ahead of the schedule, because they're planning on doing like Destiny 3, right?
I'm sure, right?
Like,
yeah.
So it's either
But
they're supporting this game forever until they quit, or there's a new IP, or not IP, but a new SKU that comes out, Destiny 3, that is the new thing that they move forward with and focus all their attention on.
yeah.
I'd also be real interested to compare games like World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy 14 to see how much content they get per year, because they
That'd be
generally
interesting.
do bigger drops, right? And then they have like live events that go throughout the year, but they have like big dumps of like downloadable content, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like once every year or two in World of Warcraft's case, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm familiar, and our World of Warcraft expert is not here.
Get Holtz on here. Call him up. But yeah, I bring it up because Eververse is there, right? That's how it comes up as well, because there's a free to play, hopefully like Fortnite or other games. Hopefully people just buy like vanity items, but it keeps with a looter type game. And that's what we keep going over. It's like, it seems like there's this weird, we feel like stuff's in the Eververse that we wish we could earn. And so I don't know, maybe too much is going on, but I still feel like there is a subscription model, because I think the community's strong enough, and yeah, there would be people willing to pay, I don't know if it's $10 a month or even 15 a month to get to the point where hopefully you're funding a game that you get more. And you guys bring up resources, which I agree with, but the problem is, if the Eververse is up and down, and if sales of the game itself and DLC is so up and down, it's kind of hard to project. When you have subscription, though, they're basically after 6 months or whatever, you get into this. There's an expectation you're going to lose 30%, but you keep 70 or whatever it is, and you can kind of project a little easier, which is why Game Pass exists and many other of these services.
So,
which is, we're kind of seeing that as the future in a lot of games.
when do you think D3 is actually going to exist?
I still keep saying 2021.
2021.
Lad, show me the
Is
light.
there going to be a D3?
Say September 2020. Just say it. Just say it 'cause you want it.
Definitely not this year. Definitely not this year. I mean, it's so weird the way that they word things. Like, they almost make it seem like it's not anywhere close, but I feel like we are going to get some surprise announcement.
They did that with Destiny 2 as well, though. They didn't mention that thing, and then they dropped a big bomb.
Did they? Because I don't
they
really
did.
remember. I was in the process of moving and all that stuff.
Yeah, it came up fast at the beginning of 2017 or whatever. They literally announced the event, right? Invited some folks like pretty quickly, within like a couple months or a month and a half or something.
So,
But they never talked about a continually evolving world, though. Like they've been talking about Destiny 2.
It's true, and
And now
That's
we're literally seeing them remove content from the game so they can put other content in. So we're starting to see that take full force, where there's literally not enough like
Hard
I
drive
don't know the
space.
correct term here. Yeah, memory, storage, whatever.
500 gig install.
Yeah. I mean, what's
next gen, baby.
what's the smallest console? Is it Xbox or PlayStation?
I'm pretty
so
sure
many
there's
different
500
SKUs.
gigabyte
I think 500 gig is the smallest hard drive size.
PlayStation and Xbox is still being sold. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure. I mean, even an Xbox One X only comes with 1 terabyte.
Yeah.
Because eventually they stopped producing everything for Xbox 360 and Destiny 1. And you would assume that, that time is going to happen again. That same thing is going to happen again.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's already a question this
So-
year. Are they going to continue?
Right, yeah.
Because now they're going to be on PC, Steam support, and they have Stadia, And they have Xbox.
Yeah, it's interesting too. They got to
PS5
support the new consoles, right? They can't miss out on
100%
that potential market share. But what I was going to say with the whole potential of D3 type of stuff is, let's say it is 2021. That's 6 years or 7 years. It's like 6 or 7 years that the game's been out since D1 through the lifetime of D2.
Okay. Oh, so it's 2014. So yeah.
So given that type of time frame, that's a lot of data and a lot of financial assessment of what works and what type of model they can do. That hopefully is like knowledge that they put into being able to put whatever the future Destiny content is, whatever the future Destiny title is, more like what you're talking about, Fran, where it's more streamlined. There's consistent drops. They have enough teams, enough, I guess, designers that are working on multiple fronts for all those things that people want to go and chase.
Yeah.
And I say this all the time. It's pretty crazy, to look at it in a positive way that we actually have this problem, because people come in and they say all the time, is it worth me playing Destiny? Am I going to be too far behind? I always say you're never too far behind in Destiny.
Yeah.
And there's so much stuff to do. It's actually ridiculous.
It is.
But you can go do it within, pretty quickly. Like you just starting off the game as a new player, you can get going with your friends pretty quick.
Yeah.
You can for sure, but if you actually wanted to visit every single activity in the game,
take a long time.
It would take a ridiculously long time, much longer than other games.
That, in that way, though, I think Destiny is very well set up right now because yes, there's a ton of shit to do, but the barrier to entry is actually pretty low. Like you can get into the game and start playing with your friends pretty quick. Like if my kid wanted to start playing Destiny tomorrow, we could be playing a raid within a week together.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they removed a lot of barriers, especially recently, which is nice. It used to be a huge hassle.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge fan of where they're going with the armor. And I like to believe that the whole Armor 2.0 system is just the beginning of what they want to do. And I hope that they don't settle for this and sort of adjust and tweak the artifact and perks here and there. I hope they continue to evolve almost like an Armor 3.0,
Yeah, I agree.
And they just keep building upon this, because huge fan. And I think one of the things that Destiny can struggle with is so much to do, but maybe you're not sure what to do or in what order to do things or why you should do them. And a lot of times, if you just give people stuff to grind for and builds to work for, that is enough to satisfy a lot of players.
Yeah.
And I would like to see where they evolve the armor system for sure.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
I want to see the weapon system take on elements of what the armor system has.
Yeah, like a weapon 2.0 system. Exactly.
Yeah. Like an energy system
amazing.
to customize the type of perks that you want. And I always think that this stuff just needs to stay out of PvP. Just let PvP have its certain balancing, but then with the PvE system, it needs that interesting chase for to make your gun even more pointed towards a specific build.
Yeah, and I'm probably gonna get lashed for saying this, but I just think the artifact needs to stay out of PvP. Personally, every time I say that, I just think the artifact stuff can be way too powerful just in PvE alone, that bringing that stuff into PvP just is very, I don't know. It's not particularly this season, but last season.
Yeah.
Yeah, this season hasn't been too bad, right? But last season was so many things were causing a problem last season.
Yeah, well, that's because honestly, the artifact this season is very meh. In my opinion.
One of the things they talked about with the artifact, though, is that they can reset it every season, so that if something does get out of hand, there is a reset switch, and it's got a date on it.
Yeah.
I thought they were always going to keep some sort of buff or debuff system, and you don't really have that in this. The closest thing that you have that comes even close to Oppressive Darkness would be the where you stun the Unstoppable, and then it buffs your team.
Right.
I forget what that's called.
Tenderizer.
Yeah. Which works, but it's so situational.
Yeah.
Whereas with Oppressive Darkness, I thought it would have been cool if they had a debuff Void. If this season they had a buff Arc, you know what I mean? They like cycled through it, and then
that's what I thought they were going to do. Like cycle.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was so excited. I was like, okay, let's start paying attention to arc and solar stuff because we don't know what we're gonna get. I was kind of like, getting people to prepare, and then we get this artifact, and we're like, there's nothing there.
Yeah, the thing I've been happy about is heavy ammo finisher, but me doing that takes away me contributing orbs to the team. But I like, for the first time in Destiny's history, I feel like I actually have control over my heavy ammo.
So
it's huge.
Here's my thought on heavy ammo finisher. I don't think it's worth it because armaments are in the game.
What if you don't have armaments?
If you don't have armaments, you better get your butt out there and start grinding for those 2.0 versions. Now, obviously,
see, armaments are very situational, and you have to build specifically for that enemy type for that armament.
They are, but you can have. So I have what's called my, this is a clever name for this build, my armament build.
Nice. Okay. Excellent.
And it's a.
We'll be the judge of that at cleverness. By the way.
And it's just all void pieces of gear because void's still king because sniper and grenade launcher and stuff. At least for the way that I play, and every piece of gear has different armaments on it in 2.0 version.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what I play casually, if I throw a grenade on most enemy types, I'm guaranteed to get armor back.
Not every enemy type has
heavy back.
Not every enemy has.
It doesn't, but it's going to cover, like I said, for most enemy types. Now, I think we got gypped out of Vex and Cabal and Scorn. I guess they're the only ones we don't have. And I thought that there was a pattern where we were getting armaments every season, and then they just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
They stopped at Shadowkeep, right?
Yeah.
I think that was the last one. Because I thought we were getting Vex armaments in Shadowkeep. And then I thought we were getting Cabal armaments here.
Right. Yeah. Well, maybe the season's not over. There's more stuff coming. So maybe there is some sort of hidden thing that's coming.
Maybe the Empyrean thing. It's just mods. More mods. Mods for everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Armaments.
I hear what you're saying.
Are great.
I hear that armaments is the answer to that stuff.
But Tefty's lazy. I wants to just have a one size fits all.
Let's say you're a lazy guardian that also doesn't like to play Warlock that often, even though everybody says that you should play Warlock. Weird, right?
We would say that you do.
Come on now. Anyways, I've really liked the heavy ammo finisher because I can be super selfish with my super energy and get heavy ammo all the time.
Yeah. It's been great. I mean, in Destiny 1, you had, you could just shred, God, now I forgot what they were called. Heavy ammo.
Synthesis.
Yeah. And like you had.
Oh, man, crazy idea.
Yeah, right. But like, as much as I hated it at times, like once it was gone, it exposed like these problems with the quests and just situations where you're like, are you kidding me? Like I have no heavy again, and it really added a lot of frustration. So like I hear you as well. Like I think if you've got the good stuff and you play enough, you're in the kind of balanced right situation with armaments. But I like heavy ammo, finder and all that, or finisher, because it's just they run into so much that it's just because I don't have all those armaments. I've been lazy.
I would use heavy ammo finisher for taking up 7 energy or
It's expensive.
7 energy and half of your super. It should drop for your teammates too.
Right.
Is what I think. Because like
So
like Tef said, it's a very selfish thing because it uses your super and only gives it to you. So
yeah.
However, since running it, and I've been running a machine gun with that build. In fact, I did a xenophage build where all xenophage as much as possible. Then I finally got the heavy ammo finisher. You run whatever the super energy generator. Can't remember the name of it. Something for heavy machine guns. It's ARC.
Oh,
it dropped recently with the season. You run that in your class item as well. That equals 10 total, and then you're getting super energy by using your machine gun, which is then you can go get more machine gun ammo because you got half your super energy back by that time if you're playing correctly and getting kills. Storm of Lead, that's what it's called, yeah. So it's a really nice cycle that you can do to keep on getting super energy to then get heavy ammo to then get super energy again, back and forth. It's just you're not making
Sounds
orbs.
like a legit build, Tefty.
It is, yeah.
Never had before. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, well,
have you messed with the new one, the new seasonal mods?
No, not yet. I've been waiting for a nice set of armor.
Stuff.
They're pretty crazy. There's one on the arc pieces. It's so like Void Arc and Solar all have different ones.
Yeah.
The ones on the arc are ammo regenerating perks.
Right.
You know, that were on the topic.
Yeah.
And it works for sidearms, which are really good right now. If you want to talk about those.
Yeah.
SMGs, which Recluse is still an absolute beast, and shotguns. So you can run these combination. You can run triple shotties. You can run sidearms and shotties. Any combination of those weapons. And if you get kills when you're surrounded by enemies, it just keeps feeding special ammo back into all of your guns.
That's awesome.
And it's ridiculous. And it charges you with light. So you're getting, you're doing extra damage with the charge with light. And you're also, there's another one where if you get rapid kills with these guns, with these shotguns, that also charges you with light. So as you're using your charge light, you're also charging yourself with light and getting ammo. And it's basically infinite ammo.
That's great.
Yeah,
it's really fun.
I feel like the charged with light mod stuff that's where the more exciting stuff is, and not the artifact this season. But people haven't really delved into it because it requires you to have this season's armor. So maybe more people will start messing around with it because they're really cool. You can do a lot of really crazy stuff with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty nutty. I encourage you to mess with it. I just run a triple shotty with tractor cannon and then 2 auto-loading shotguns and just expend all my ammo in one, switch to the other. And the nice thing is, so it doesn't refuel your heavy shotgun, but let's say you start running low on your 2 special shotguns, you can just whip out tractor cannon and just start killing a couple things, and you'll have full ammo in both of your energy and kinetic shotguns in like 2 seconds.
Nice. And if you're running shotgun ammo finder, then you're going to have a heavy drop eventually as well because it's a shotgun.
Yeah. It's nuts.
That's cool.
Put that heavy finisher on.
Heavy finisher.
But yeah,
good to
having
go.
the catalyst for tractor on top of that, right? It's like so much ammo to begin with. So that sounds like a lot of fun.
That's great. I love it.
That's
I always
cool.
have a build ready. It's like my casual play now.
That's cool.
Yeah, shotgun PvE run around is a lot of fun. I actually enjoyed that in Gambit when I played Gambit to get that shotgun, the Python. I did the triple shotty. Actually,
nice. I'm sure your teammates enjoyed you as well.
Yeah, they're like, I'm reporting this Tefty guy.
Circle right back around to the conversation.
So with this build, you could run around Gambit and you could literally fire half your shots into the sky. Just waste ammo, and you would never run out of ammo, even if you tried.
Wow.
Because Gambit, there's always groups of enemies.
Yeah.
Insane, yeah.
That's cool.
You can if you try. I tried. I was just firing bullets into the air, and it was a lot of fun.
Nice.
So I bet it happened, and that's
Oh yeah, I was gonna say
That's what we thought about Iron Banner.
I was gonna say I played Iron
That was
Banner.
good stuff.
I actually played Iron Banner, and I like blasted 2-3 hours per night. I actually enjoyed it. It was fine.
Crucible Tefty is my favorite Tefty.
I had an okay time. It's like it's when the connections end up taking a big dump, then I'm like, I'm out. I don't want to see my bullet register a second later because of some crap going on. But overall, it wasn't terrible.
Yeah, I honestly didn't mind it at all. I found it like I could go in. Most of the games are pretty fun. Had a decent time till I joined Tefty into his sweat squad.
I think it was your SBMM, Watts. Your SBM was raising them.
Yeah, so I had a decent time.
Yeah. Although I was using Aerental, and I enjoy using the Aerental.
I was
now.
using Rag King.
Yeah.
Aerental is fun.
Rag King's always fun.
Well, there was no TWAB this week, right?
No,
Because they're on
the next
vacation.
one is next week.
The
Right?
9th, so week.
Coming up next week in Destiny, actually, we're going to be getting the exotic quest. So I'm excited.
Oh, okay.
Excited for that. The new sidearm exotic quest.
Hopefully it's
Sidearms are
good.
Yeah.
Sidearms are good.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But you gotta have the right one.
Rat King is the right one.
Yeah.
With the catalyst? Do you have the catalyst, Glad?
I do have the catalyst.
Pretty amazing.
I still need to finish it
It's so good.
because it depends on other members having Rat King equipped and getting kills, right?
Yeah, we did. We took a 6 rats to
Oh.
the raid and did Shirochi over and over again. It took like maybe 20, 30 minutes, and everyone got their
A
catalyst
little
done.
bubonic rat plague killing a bunch of stuff.
Yep.
Nice.
You guys want to do some Twitter questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Fran
All
is somewhere.
He had a Fran emergency.
Fran was lost in the void.
Well, sometimes if Fran gets up, he doesn't like to show people his butt, so he has to.
Our
Fran-
loss, frankly.
Fran's very self-conscious of his butt.
Honestly, though. I got many peeks at his butt.
There we go.
Willie says, "R.I.P. Glad's beard." Yo, same.
So
What
tell us
happened?
a story.
What
How did
happened,
that
man?
happen?
I think it looks
This
good, man.
Tale of misery.
I knew there was going to be a beard question. Honestly, if I'm completely honest, I get tired of things really quickly. And I was on the plane home and using one of those pillows, you know what I mean? The neck plane pillows.
Yeah.
And it was just like pushing the hair into my mouth. And it was just, it was just annoying. And I literally couldn't wait to get home. And the first thing I did is I went right in my bathroom and just
Shaved it off.
yeah. Normally
Wow.
when I shave my beard off though, it's because I mess up somewhere. Like I try to trim and do
the
something.
do-over button.
You know what I mean, though.
Dude,
You had to have done that at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
You try to trim it and you mess up, and then you try to fix it, and then you're just like, screw it. I'll just
Yeah.
grow
I
another
just
one.
did that with my sideburns on
Yep.
New Year's Eve. I was like rushing, and then I was like, oh no, I hit this like angle. I was like,
Mhm.
well, and then because they're like definitely a lot thinner than my beard, so it was really like thinned. I was like, well, now
Yeah.
there's just this weird separation.
Mhm.
You
I
should have
still
rocked
kept,
it,
like,
Fran.
the-
You should have
the scruff.
embraced it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I
If it
did.
was
I got
light,
rid
maybe
of them.
died a little bit.
And the only
Yeah.
way to
Fill it
fix
in.
beards,
Wait a
because people think that people that can't grow beards, having a beard, for me at least, is a lot more management than not
Yeah.
having. a
Oh,
beard.
definitely.
Yeah.
Having no beard is so easy. Shaving with a blade is very quick.
You
can do
Just-
it
just
in
wake
5
up in the morning, you just shave, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Just
But even
every
like a-
meal, I'm constantly thinking,
Oh,
what's getting in my
is this
beard?
in my beard?
Have you thought about creating a beard bib?
No.
Maybe
Beard bib.
like it can attach to your beard and just protect the beard.
The,
That might be.
the toughest
be
one
enough.
is
You could
any.
DCP beard bib.
The toughest one is any form of soup. Because
Oh,
you got to
yeah.
go like this. You got to like do
Oh,
a tuck
ramen
thing.
must be like crazy.
Yeah.
Like, how do you eat ramen, man? Like,
No, the worst one
you
is
gotta get
maple
like a
syrup.
rubber band or something.
Maple.
Maple
Oh God,
syrup,
Jesus.
Maple
Or
syrup, because-
egg yolk.
Maple
Oh
syrup
God.
can like make a string that kind of goes between like your plate and the fork, and you might not realize it. And you put that in your mouth, and now you have a line of maple syrup. That goes down.
Oh Jesus.
And you don't know it until you go like this. You're like, oh, everything's sticky.
I used to get it with toothpaste too. After brushing my teeth, it would just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
stick in my, and just little things like that eventually get to me. I don't know how you guys keep it all the time. Kudos, their beards are definitely the hot thing, but I feel like beards will always be in style. We were talking about this a little bit over New Year's. They were like, my buddy was like, yeah, beards are in right now, because he was commenting on my beard, and I was like, I feel like beards are
Been in for a
always
while.
in, because
And there's
beards
always
are
people that love beards too. Like there's always,
yeah, because it's a very masculine feature on a guy. So I feel
I
like
agree.
it'll
True.
always
Very
be an
masculine.
attractive thing. You guys are very masculine.
See what?
I agree very
What-
badly.
I want to see Brian
Very
without a
elite.
beard.
See, I didn't move, or I didn't grow a beard until I moved out of Hollywood because my friends, all of them had beards.
It was the weed.
It was the weed. Yeah, that's what was
Oh,
going
no.
You
on.
come out, the
They
beard
all-
smelled like weed.
They
Oh,
all had
God.
beards, and I was like, I'm not going to grow a beard just because they're going to think I'm copying them. And so then I finally moved, and I was like, I'm growing a beard. And so ultimately, I did copy them. So here we are.
You should shave it April 1st and keep it shaved the entire month of.
Interesting. Yeah.
420. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
just the whole
So,
month.
Tefty, I didn't know that. It was a conscious decision to grow the beard. Like you decided one day, you know what, we're gonna grow a beard.
Yeah. After I moved out of Hollywood, I was like, you know what? I'm in Sacramento now. I'm going to.
Bearded Tefty.
It's beard time.
Speaking of beards, like being in fashion and all of that stuff, did you guys see Eric's picture on Twitter?
Yes. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That was
I
awesome.
refuse to
2001.
believe.
Yes.
I told him too. I told him to his face. I don't believe you.
to his face. And that
Well,
just
to his
shows
Twitter
you
face.
beards are never going out in fashion. If
Yeah.
you haven't seen it,
No.
I'll post the picture.
Best
link.
comment on that post. If you haven't seen that, it's two pictures of Eric's, one from 10 years ago and one from today. And the 10 years ago, it doesn't even look like him.
You're like,
Oh,
But
get
yeah.
out.
he's got a lot of hair on top and no
It's
beard.
true.
And the best comment on the whole post was, "That's the same picture, just flipped upside down."
Yeah. He looks like he's in
Go
a
follow
band,
Eric's on Twitter and look at
in
that
a
picture.
band in
Yeah.
the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's great.
completely different.
Uh,
Crazy.
Dawn Killer says, "Where and when did you meet Chevy, and have you met him in person?"
Well, we just hung out for New Year's Eve. So
Oh, really?
yeah. We partied at Base Sector in Kentucky.
Oh, it was
And
Kentucky.
then and then Guardian Con. Yeah, so we're really good buddies for sure. He's my partner in crime, and
It's good to have one
Met-
of those.
yeah, for sure. It's nice to have a consistent 2-man partner.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people that do the stuff that we do, the crazy stuff that we do in PvE, would definitely agree to that statement. Somebody that's like always there to do whatever. But met him when I was pretty much like grinding for a partner, really. And he came. We were talking about 2-manning prestige dogs, and then he hopped in my game and like showed me a strat that he was like working on, and I pretty much just kept showing up, and then we started gaming together.
He kept
I forget
showing
what
up, couldn't get rid of him, and now he's
I forget what the first challenge we ever did was. The first 2-man we ever did.
Well, it wouldn't be anything in Destiny 1, obviously. Right?
No.
Yeah.
I forget what the first time I was like,
Little jab there, little jab.
I'm sorry, Chevy. I can't help it.
If you play D1 though, if you go back and play D1, we won't say it anymore.
Onata says, "Question for Glad. Of the current storylines within the Destiny universe, which is the one you'd most like to see continue with and why? Bungie continue with and why?"
So I am actually going to redirect this question. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't play Destiny for the story or the lore.
You're not.
So I don't have, and everybody knows this about me if you're a regular. I don't really have an emotional investment in Destiny's story or any of its storylines. I play the game because I just love the gameplay and I like the way that it makes me feel, which means that I don't really have very strong opinions on any of the storylines. I will say I highly enjoyed the Saint 14 stuff though.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was
That was
really
well
cool.
done.
Even for somebody that doesn't follow that stuff a lot, I was really amazed by what they were doing with it and thought that was really cool.
Same 14 stuff was amazing. Like in
Yeah.
the mission, and then it's like you're saving him and he's saving you, and I'm like, no, he's saving me, really? Oh my god, it's very emotional.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think
I appreciate everything that Bungie's been doing for their stories, and I understand,
Yeah.
But people play the game for different reasons, and
Yeah.
I unfortunately don't follow the stories too much.
Wow, so I feel like you got an answer just sitting here waiting for
I
this
have an
question.
I want to see what the hell is going on with the Olgin. Like I want
Yeah,
to
good question.
really delve into that. Like
God, I
he's a
haven't thought about
guardian
him in
now,
a
right?
while.
So that was a
Started a barbecue
huge
show.
thing. We saw that happen, and we're like, "Holy crap! Olgin's a guardian, and he's back, and he doesn't remember who he was and what happened." I want to delve into that.
I would assume
Started
that's
a farm to
September,
table
actually.
on Mars.
Maybe.
It's possible. I pulled pork, man.
I wish they would expand upon Anna Bray and the whole Bray Tech stuff, because I think it's fascinating because she's a cool character, obviously. But
Yeah.
her whole family line, there's obviously the stranger stuff that's going on there. But the fact that like they pioneered the engram technology, the Bray Tech stuff, they did a whole bunch of technology right there that I think is really fascinating when it comes to Destiny, because it's like technology meets space magic. And I always think it's cool to see those things kind of unfold. So
Wasn't there something going on with Braytech and what's his name? The hunter that died. What's his name? Fuck. How
Cade?
quickly you forget. Cade. Yeah, thank you.
excuse
Oh,
me,
wow.
bro?
Hey, it's been a while.
We've
He's
all
been
been
around
there.
in a while.
Oh, geez. that
Holy
hunter guy.
crap.
Wasn't that,
Wow.
like hunter dude in Destiny?
That was
Yeah,
disrespect.
the dude with chicken.
I feel nauseous right now. Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah, we've all been there.
No.
Not okay.
No.
That's a big the hunter.
Too soon. Too soon.
Hunter. So good.
I was really into the Shadowkeep story with the darkness like manifested in the pyramid thing. I was really down with that. I could have played a 40-hour game of just that storyline. I would have been totally into it. I was really having fun with that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's still, I mean, obviously it's all still leading up to something. I think they're doing a good job where it's not like they put stuff like that out there. Like, I don't expect Aldrin to just disappear and get swept under the rug, nor the darkness, you know, which was a big hint at what's to come. But maybe they both come back in September, you know, as like a big reveal. But I feel like that stuff, we saw that with the darkness in the launch of Destiny 2, right? The triangle ships or whatever, and it took a really long time to kind of come back around. So they're doing a pretty good job with that.
I want to let you know, Briar, that caged chicken in chat feels very disrespected.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The Colonel.
And
Caged chicken.
One more comment I feel like I have to say, because I always talk about her, is I am severely attracted to Marisov.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So anytime she is on screen is a plus for me. Is a plus for these eyeballs.
Is
Love
exciting.
thing going on.
Whoever
totally agree.
We haven't seen her since. When's the last time we saw her?
I mean, all through Forsaken and all that stuff. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
yeah,
Whoever
you had to go through
developed
the
her
portal and go
character
visit her.
is a good human.
Yeah, it's my favorite too, Glad. Not
she's
only for
great.
that reason, that's a big part of it, but the voice acting and just the style is so cool. I mean, when she was introduced, and I remember when she blew up the ship and all, I was like, no, are you kidding me?
cool.
Like, this is I was like, this is one of the greatest characters you have. She better not be dead, you know. And thank goodness, not quite. So
she's probably
She
like
can't die.
she's probably the only person that completed Shax's Horn quest as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All
Glad's
right,
got a
now-
horn quest
yeah.
to complete.
Now we're spiking.
Jealous.
I have this dream that one of these days Shax is going to get killed off in the storyline because he took my girl.
Because of
Mara.
the helmet? Because it stayed on?
Well, where do you think that horn is?
Broke it off. Yeah.
Fran is like, no, please stop it, please.
No.
Please don't say where you think the horn is.
It's episode 169. I don't care.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's on topic.
It is.
Bolt says, what is your ideal vision for how hard mode raids can be implemented into Destiny 2?
Make them harder.
Just like Destiny 1.
No.
That's simple.
Harder enemies, slight variation to mechanics. You know what I mean? Just a little bit different, but I think the biggest issue with hard mode raids is you come across, once again, why would I choose to do a hard mode over a normal?
Yeah.
You know?
Uh-huh.
And that is the biggest struggle. Now, what they did with prestige raids in Destiny 2, terrible. Now we're going back to being forced to use weapons. Nobody likes that. Nobody who actually plays prestige raid layers, unless you're specifically trying to get a catalyst or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think hard mode raids are cool. Now, the other thing is, would you prefer more normal mode raids, or would you rather them spend some time and release double versions, hard mode and normal mode of raids? I honestly would prefer that they put their time in normal modes and just release one version of a raid, but we get more of them as opposed to double versions of a raid.
What would you think about them leaving contest active as a selectable version of the raid?
Once again, I would love it for me personally, the people that want to challenge themselves, but I definitely don't speak for the whole community. I speak for myself. There would have to be a reason for people to play it. Like, why would somebody sit there and struggle through, whether you're a casual gamer with your friends or you just want to get her clear for your pinnacles or you're a Sherpa? Why go through all that struggle if there's no real incentive to play it, except for the people that just want to challenge themselves?
In Destiny 1, they just had better versions of the guns. And I was okay with that. Or at least in the Taken King, they did that.
Yeah, they had different stuff for the first two.
Yeah. Yeah, in
You could only get the Fatebringer in the
Vault
hard
of
mode.
Glass, you could only get certain guns.
Also,
Yeah,
Vex
they
Myth
split up the
class
weapons.
only came from Heroic.
Now, it would be interesting, like you said, if they did bring back exotic kinetic weapons. and the only way to get them would be to grind out these contest raids like after contest was over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For me,
So,
this stuff always comes down to loot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's a loot.
Not enough
It's,
loot.
Definitely,
It's
definitely.
always a loot problem with this. Like
It's the same thing where we're like bringing back Trials of Osiris. Yes, people like that theme better. It's like they can have the perfect game mode that you can play amazingly, but if there's no fun loot to get, then it's just going to die out really fast. A lot of things come down to yes, but how is the loot?
yeah.
It needs to be, people need to want to go
Yeah.
for it.
In year one, the raid layers and the prestige of raid layers were such a letdown for me because the loot was just, it was like a different version of the same armor. And then 1 or 2 guns that were added because of that raid layer. And I was like, I have no desire to grind that.
Yeah. And what was I gonna say? So the 980s and the champions, I think it'd be cool even if there was a mode where there were champions in the raid. Because
Yep.
I love how 980s I think are some of the best content in the game. 980 Nightfalls, specifically just the 980 Nightfalls. But that's really your main source. I call them golf balls or ascendant shards. I think that's what they're called. I don't even know.
Ascendant shards, yeah.
Shards of the golf balls.
They're golf balls.
But I feel like there should be ways to get them in Crucible or raids, other activities to grind them. Imagine, Garden of Salvation with champions in it. Now, there is a champion in Garden of Salvation, actually. But you have to mess up. You have to be slow on the boss for it to spawn. So they're already putting them in the raids, and that could be another contest modifier as well. And one of the things that the game struggles with now is there's really not a consistent source to grind high stat rolled armor.
Yeah, it's a huge problem right now.
Yeah, for sure. And even these
broken
pinnacle activities, you just get these such crappy rolled armor, and you always feel so bad about it. And you just got to get lucky to get this nice piece. And it would be nice to grind something with champions in it, like Nightfalls, that would reward these high stat roll pieces of armor.
The dungeon is such a weird thing to like. You get a pinnacle piece of gear, and the stat is 48. It's like what?
Yeah,
it feels weird. Yeah, somewhere like the dungeons should 100% be dropping high roll stat armor.
It doesn't make any sense.
Keeps it relevant too.
Yeah.
Keeps it relevant for people to go back and replay it and get good armor.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't be worried about too many people having this, right? So few, almost nobody has like a decked out set. So like, meaning why not in next season, like you just said on dungeon, all right, we're going to cap it so it at least drops at 60. Why not? Get people in there. Meaning, do you guys really think there's a concern that, in other words, you're either going to finish too like soon, that they're trying to keep us grinding until next September, and even then, I'm like, I just don't see that coming out of the community right now. I don't think anybody is looking at a set, grinding all the way to September.
Well, I think
they've lost
the
interest.
issue is, so we didn't know this last season, but coming into this season, we saw that there's mods that we can only use on the new armor, right? So if they're going to stick with that system where every season you're going to want to go and grind out a new set of armor, then higher rolled stat stuff needs to be more readily available.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, or maybe like you were just bringing up ascendant prisms and shards. Like,
by the way,
there's a way as well to like upgrade your armor beyond like the roll that it was or something. I know that gets to be dangerous.
Yeah.
I'd rather it just drops, but meaning, we're literally at a make or break situation where it's like, well, I have a decent set. Could I upgrade it somehow? Because you can only upgrade the energy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can get points out of some of those mods you use, but it's still, you can't get that perfect roll anyway without just grinding.
Also, why is the golf balls and prisms capped at 10 and 50?
Yeah.
Terrible.
I had a stack of 48
rare.
prisms get pushed out of my postmaster because
Oh.
I was baking cookies, I think. Yeah.
Ouch.
It doesn't matter because
Ouch.
I had a stack of 50 and my hunter has all the stuff masterworked anyway. So it doesn't really matter that much, but still.
Doesn't it?
Still time invested.
You brought it
It's
up.
Still...
I mean, it must matter a little.
Yeah, I brought it up because it happened. And also the arbitrary number of like 10 and 50 as your max collection in there. It's not per character, it's per account. Is stupid.
Oh, yeah, I hate it. I lost 10 golf balls on my Warlock.
There you go. Yeah.
and then I lost 7 on my hunter, and then 3 on my titan, all within like a week.
Oof.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Which I
that's the-
grinded for. And people say like, well, you should be paying attention to that. That's your fault not putting environment. I'm like, no, that shouldn't even be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
That's just dismissing the issue.
exactly, especially with the amount you will grind. Like, you know how many
Yeah.
blues you will push out in like an hour? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At a certain
need,
point,
like,
end game content becomes inventory management simulator, and I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah.
I don't like to have to
Yeah, me
constantly go in, dismantle blues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
I'd actually
I
rather
wish
it
there was an
go
option that you could toggle that it would just auto
dismantle. Yeah, I actually
Yeah,
prefer
I
it
want
to
it to be an
go.
option.
I prefer it to go to my postmaster, so some of that gets pushed out, so I don't even deal with it, and then I dismantle what's left there. Sometimes you lose a stack of prisms.
Yeah, I've brought that up before too, like auto dismantle for sure. But also too, like if you look at the Borderlands system, not bad. Like it stacks the best stuff, so it'll always push out lower no matter what. Now it's not a perfect system, but if you have Ascendant shards sitting in there, it should just hold on to them. It shouldn't
It's not
push
pushing
out.
them out for blues.
Yeah, or any other number thing. So maybe if they got that in
cookies.
there, yeah, like tiers of items
Yeah.
that could rank, and then
Yeah.
and then maybe beyond that too, like maybe just the postmasters again, something that's been there since Destiny 1. Like, why not have 2 shelves even? Like, all right, materials and all that over here. Like, it'd be way easier. Like, you're not worried about pushing out like really key items versus if you're not too worried about blues and even legendaries because you got a handle on it. Then have 2 different shelves for that.
Yeah, it's just
I am with Tefty though. Like, as much as I love collecting stuff in Destiny, I cannot stand managing my inventory. It's just
Oh, I'm the worst.
tedium.
Yeah, for sure.
So there needs to be better tools overall for just like managing inventory, figuring out like what do you got, what's in this inventory. Because really the best way to do it now is to go out of game to a web page that
Yeah.
can do it for you, and that's kind of not a great experience.
Yep.
And by the way, I just want to say I had a total brain fart and I referenced the one raid that does have champions in it. What I meant to say was like, imagine other raids, not Garden of Salvation, that have champions in them. Because
I thought that
clearly
was
Garden
implied.
does.
It'd be cool for them, yeah, if they could add.
We're just gonna blame that on my sickness.
You got it,
you
man.
being
My brain.
drunk.
Actually, I thought you meant like a heroic version that had more champions in it. For Garden.
Well, because
Oh,
really,
yeah.
there's no champions that are even a threat in the entire raid anyway.
No, yeah.
So like, I knew where my brain was going. But whereas like the 980 Nightfalls, you literally have to stop and you have to take these out with coordination with your squad. It never feels like that in the raid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
At least
yeah,
now
very true.
you have
980
6 people, but
980 is way more stressful than a raid for taking those guys out.
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, the champions I mean, you could blow through all of your ammo and then everyone's out of ammo.
Yeah, exactly.
If you mess up.
Except you have heavy ammo finisher. Oh yeah.
Pro Vave says, "What are some of the best? I'm gonna go with best aspects of Destiny that should convince a player to get involved with the game. What are
What's
some of the best aspects of Destiny that you would recommend a new player to get into the game for?
Wait.
Come
Oh, like why?
Like-
What's so good about Destiny that why someone should play it?
Yeah.
I think for me, like if you have any interest in FPS games at all, it has some of the best gunplay that you can find out there.
Yeah.
Like across the
Good
board,
point.
Destiny feels really good just to shoot stuff, use your abilities. So yeah, I would say that for sure. Because I always go to other games and I'm like, but it doesn't have, Destiny's got that special thing that Bungie's able
It's
to
got
do.
that
make the
special
gunplay.
sauce.
It does. Their
Mhm.
gunplay has a special
Yeah.
sauce.
It always has since Halo.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the one thing that keeps me playing the game, you probably get this question too. How do you keep playing this game without getting bored of it? It just feels so
it feels
good.
Get those
The
fat checks
shoot.
from Bungie. That's why I do it.
I think give us the insider scoop. When is D3 coming out? No, but no, it just feels amazing. Like she said, to point and shoot aliens in the head. And there's just
Yeah.
something about it. And on top of that, there's so much diversity, especially in Destiny 2 with, different activities to do.
Yeah.
It's just a wonderful, PvE world at the least.
Yeah.
For me, it's playing with people, playing with friends. Like this is a singular experience for me in gaming. Like getting a 6-man raid team together, going into a raid blind, even just like playing with somebody in Crucible for an hour and you don't even think about your kill death ratio. You're just having a conversation about some random topic. Like, to me, it's just a very social game, and it's it's singular in my life as that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with gunplay as well.
Yeah.
Because the sandbox and the feeling you get from shooting aliens it's definitely unique to Destiny.
There's so many satisfying things about it too, where like the heads like kind of explode in a geyser of energy when you get a headshot. Like so many little things like that make it so satisfying.
Little things,
really cool.
Little things like the ADS sound, and every gun has a different ADS sound to it.
Yeah.
When you like, like all those have. I love all the different unique features of that stuff, or not features, the sounds and the polish. It's the polish. That's what it is.
Facets.
It's the polish. Yeah. It really is.
Yeah. That's usually my answer too. It's just such a high polish game, and it was why I was so excited about it in the first place. You know, Bungie's a world-class first-person shooter studio, so like that it is the reason that everybody looks at Destiny, whether you're into this type of game or not. I think it's become about what gets you hooked and for how long. You know, maybe you're only there for the first 2 weeks of each release. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. We're on a show where I think we talk about being there almost every week, if not every day. But I think there's a lot of ways to look at it, and there's no disputing like how many other shooters can you go out and play that just feel like so slick. And like you said, there's so many little facets and details to everything. It's insane actually how much there is. Like I'm always looking, same thing, for like little new sound cues and new sound effects, and it all comes together so well. And the art design as well, you know. Very few competitors, I would say, actually in that space. So although we want a lot more, it's in a pretty darn good spot no matter how much we have to complain about, you know.
Yeah. You know, I've found myself over the last few months being a little more forgiving isn't the right word, but like a stepping back on like accepting of the content that we get out of Destiny based on how hard I've seen other people try and make a Destiny competitor and really stumble, you know, like really stumble hard out of the gate. Like it kind of gave me newfound respect for what Bungie has done. You know, Destiny 1 launched with its share of problems, but it was fun to play right out the gate.
Yeah.
And not every game has gotten that right.
Exactly.
And I started off with LFG. You know, that's how I played with a lot of my friends early on. And as far as like a social aspect goes, I've met some awesome people.
I wasn't talking about Anthem.
Yeah, Glad dropped it in chat when we were talking about it. I don't think it's shady at all. It's actually a super fair point. They definitely.
It's really
come on, you put that in chat.
It's really difficult to make.
You brought it up as an example. You might as well comment on it. They tried, right, to capture both the BioWare magic and Destiny Halo magic, but they weren't quite able to do it, right?
Not quite.
You won't comment on Anthem, Glad? He dropped it in chat. Wow. He's like, he must have a big deal with EA. He doesn't want to mess it up, man.
No, what the opposite? No,
you big fan?
Yeah. Apparently, I'm hearing that they're like totally rehashing the game.
Yeah, they're supposed
That's
to.
That's the rumor. What, Jason Schreier?
Put
that out there? Schreier. Why do I always fuck that up?
You do. I'm actually excited about it. It's funny. It's like the only thing I've done on YouTube this year. I did an Anthem review, but I was like, genuinely, I really like the potential of the game. You speak about production and stuff, and I don't want to get off talk about Destiny, but the javelins are actually really cool.
Yeah,
they're amazing.
And the work they put into it's all the end game, and even just like what am I going to shoot and how that feels. Man, the difference between that and Destiny, I think I actually thought it was an awesome example. I was giggling because you quietly slipped it into chat. Like you were still talking.
Play the new Anthem. Are you unbanned in there yet? Are they going to
unbanned
you?
Me, yeah, they did.
Oh, I totally forgot about that. That's why. Because you were looting just like you would in Destiny.
I couldn't believe that.
Dude, that's a great story.
I forgot about that too. That was crazy. Can you tell that story real quick?
Basically, there was a thing where you could use the Storm ult, and you could just crash down Thunder if you hit two buttons really fast. Like if you alternate, it didn't like use your alt energy. And so I just had fun with it, and I was running around, killing the Titans all over the world and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then
You were getting like mad legendaries.
Not that many, actually.
Oh.
Not near as many as you think.
Compared to the rest of us.
It was literally more just,
You got
this is hilarious. I do this stuff in Destiny all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm
It's a
just going to have
PvE
fun
game.
because it's hilarious and we're laughing and there's literally no reason that I shouldn't be able to do this. And I tried to sign on one day because I told everyone I was going to stream it like consistently. And I was like, all right, Anthem time. I booted up a stream and I couldn't sign in. And I was like, what the heck? And then I was like, okay, let me check my email. And I checked my email and it said, due to economy exploitation, you have been banned permanently. Permanently.
This isn't a temporary ban, Mr. Glad.
No.
If that's your real name.
They hadn't really.
I made a video and just explained to my whole YouTube channel and Twitter. I was just like, hey, I know I said I was going to cover this game. I can't. So I was like, I don't know really what economy exploitation means. And the video went viral overnight and made a huge deal. And which I didn't expect it to do that at all. It was just more like a PSA. And then they contacted me and they were like, whoa, we're just going to make it a 2-week ban. And then they unbanned me after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It was still 2 weeks, though, that you were banned?
And then the game was dead, so you never played it again.
Yeah, by the time I was unbanned, I was like, well.
That's crazy that they kept you banned for that long.
Yeah. And it's
For
such a
just doing
shame.
PvE stuff, right? Like,
Yeah. I wasn't hurting anybody. And it was such a shame because that game had such potential for such a kick-ass raid.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been so amazing.
Yeah.
Like, if they would have actually released content. And they just didn't. They just didn't release anything.
Yeah.
The rumor is they just put the content plans on hold and just went right to work on 2.0.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I mean, just keeping it alive, I think there's potential. So
the thing is, if I'm honest, if they come out with a whole new like scrap everything, here's what we really wanted to do, I'm definitely gonna play it again.
Me too.
Yeah, I'll check it out. For
Yeah,
sure.
dude,
very interested.
Yeah, the stronghold with the spider was the single best. It was like overall pretty well designed because it was mostly like turrets and some groundlings, but like getting to that spider boss actually felt like actually even in some cases better than like a Destiny strike boss, and like it felt really cool chasing the crit spot on it and getting a team together. Like, yeah, you started using these Destiny tactics of using your bubble and with the ranger and
Fran,
stuff
I got to
like
ask you a question, though. Did you play that on PC in the beta before they fixed the mouse controls for swimming?
Yeah, I actually only played on controller.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I
almost quit the game the first time I got lost in that.
It was messed up.
Well, you know what? So if you just did regular matchmaking, a lot of the time your team would get stuck in the water. They wouldn't be able to get out, so they'd just quit, and then no one would be able to join back. And not all players are at this door, the door doesn't open.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
that was
rough.
Every time I saw someone get stuck in the water, I was like, oh no.
Also,
I do agree though, Fran. I thought that strike was awesome.
Yeah.
It's got potential. I'm glad that even though I think it's going to be a hard sell because we saw Destiny, even Destiny went through it, right?
Oh yeah.
Nobody after Destiny Vanilla.
Destiny didn't bottom out though.
Not near this bad though.
Yeah.
No, imagine that.
Anthem has bottomed out. I mean, like.
Oh, this is terrible. Yeah.
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 But if they make a great game out of 2.0, people will come back.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if it gets popularized a little bit.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I do believe the rumors, and I think it's got a lot of potential. Basically, man, they gotta learn from Bungie, like we were just saying. The polish of shooting an enemy and the way that feels, it's way too close to like. It's funny because I don't want to say StarCraft, right? But it's got this weird like overhead shooting. I don't know. They're all very tiny, and they just don't feel very
with that
real. They don't have a lot of movement.
With that javelin, especially, what is that one called? You named it before.
Storm.
The storm. You're often up in the air, kind of firing your abilities down. But the other javelins, like you're on the ground more. It feels more like a ground combat game.
Yeah,
the Juggernaut
I was an
one's really
interceptor,
fun.
and you like. I was slicing through microwave butter on most of those enemies. Like it just feels soft, right? And like
it doesn't feel heavy. Yeah.
But I think the point is like compare that to Destiny. It was a good example.
Sure is.
Ways to go.
Birthday countdown 8 days away. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
How would you like to
yeah.
see another activity such as Niobe Labs added into the game in the future?
Never got asked that before.
1,000,000%.
But like with an actual way to solve it. In the game.
Yeah, with an actual puzzle that makes somewhat sense to a logical human.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to say I don't, because that was like, I was watching people and laughing, but like you could clearly see it was too difficult for me.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when it was unsolvable, literally.
Yeah. missing puzzle
Right.
piece.
Niobe Labs was literally the greatest idea ever, just executed poorly at the end, is
Yeah.
what it was.
100%.
But as far as an idea goes, and just being innovative in a game that has already revolutionized, things like raids and puzzle solving, Destiny is just on a whole nother level.
Yep.
Enormous idea. And it was anything that brings the community together like that is absurd,
Yeah.
And only a game like Destiny can really do it on that level. I mean, we've seen this so many times. Niobe Labs is just one example. The Shattered Throne is another example. The Kill Hive on Mars is another example where the whole community just comes together with one goal in mind. And I love that stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of people
That's
do.
great.
And yeah, I mean, just make it solvable. Maybe not
Exactly.
lock content behind it, I think was another mistake that they made, because they literally locked the forge that people paid for, and then made it so people couldn't complete
Yeah.
it. So that caused a lot of controversy. So maybe just don't lock a core piece of content behind it, but maybe give a heavy incentive to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Juan Carlos Rivera says, how much longer do you think it will take for people to be sick of the 6-man activity that will seem to come with every season? I
Oh.
wouldn't assume that's going to come with every season.
That's kind of what I was getting at before, though, right? With the pace, I actually am assuming we're going to get that.
Yeah, I'm
Because,
assuming.
right,
A new 6-man activity every season?
Vex Offensive, we got Sundial, so what's next? I am assuming.
Yeah, I mean, they can't keep rehashing menageries, though.
Yeah.
Because that's what Sundial is, 100%. It's Menagerie 2.0, and it needs to be something different. Like, I don't,
Apparently not long.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. People, I guess, are already getting burnt out on the just like. Well, it's weird because it's all back to what Court of Oryx. There wasn't anything really before that, right? But Court of Oryx, Escalation Protocol, all that stuff. But they
Escalation
all-
Protocol was my favorite of them because it was a more organic thing.
You could stumble
but-
into it, which was fun.
Yeah, I love that.
I still enjoy that right now, right? Like there's been a few times I've had to go back to Mars and I see that there's a bunch of people doing it, and I'm like, I'll just join in because why not? And that's kind of cool. I love.
I
those
like when there's
experiences.
shit like that just kind of happening in the world as opposed to being a event you have to fly into specifically.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but isn't that? I mean, it's a really good point. I really like that stuff too. But aren't Menagerie, Sundial quantifiably better than like Escalation Protocol as an actual combat event?
I think in some ways yes, in some ways no.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, definitely I like the way the loot works in Menagerie better. But I've always liked the way the Escalation Protocol just happens on a patrol, and you can just kind of happen upon it, kind of like you'd be patrolling on Venus in Destiny 1, and all of a sudden somebody's opening the vault of glass. So
Well, yeah.
you just join in because like that's what fucking Guardians do, man.
Yeah.
For sure, but I was saying if
Like,
you
it was
take that
cool.
away and it's just the event itself and you judge them without the situational, like, oh, I
I
might
hear you.
shoot a few things.
Yeah, I hear you.
On the, yeah, no, I'm not arguing with you because it is, that side's cool. But don't you think that the gameplay of Sundial, Menagerie,
I think there's room for both.
yeah. Well, yeah,
There's ways to do it.
you taking the easy out of this one, easy way out. Oh yeah, I love both, but I want situational. But I was going to agree on the backside of this by saying situational. Absolutely agree. I wish we had more of that because, at least for me, I mean that's the thing. Sometimes I don't know what I want to do, and yeah, like I'll pop onto Mars, and it's a great example where I'm like, yeah, I could do a round of this, and I'd love to see more of that. And I always have been bringing it up since Shadowkeep launched. It was I don't know if it was the first mission or whatever, but the one that had like the Halo, like all out war vibe. There was like guardians like around you while you're in the middle of the mission. And I was like, dude,
yeah.
I was like, this is the future of Destiny for me.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how you could make this really work, but like rolling into a place and there's like a lot of stuff happening and just these all out wars. I was like,
that definitely felt very Halo.
Bigger scale. Like the whole tower's there and you're like joining in. It was cool, even though you're just kind of
like Halo Warzone.
I mean, it wasn't Halo Wars, but
Warzone.
Oh, Warzone. That was a mode, right?
It was like 12.
No, this was just during the campaign, and like you're rolling, and all of a sudden there's other Guardians there, and there's tanks and shit. And
yeah,
like,
just seeing them
gave popping off.
Such,
and it was cool.
It was a very, very cool,
badass.
Yeah.
So like in the spirit of Escalation Program, I'm like, man, it definitely has a lot of potential. I hope they're developing, technology, especially going into next gen that could improve on that. It could be really cool.
Yeah.
Andrew says, oh, I'm sorry, I missed. Nope. Yeah. Andrew says, what is your opinion on the Destiny 2 Last Wish Games Done quick run? Is that going on right now?
I don't think so. I think it's a little bit away. I think it's freaking awesome that, the game is getting recognized at something like GDQ,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool that people took initiative to reach out and get some recognition for Destiny's speedrun because it's very interesting.
Apparently it's a week from tonight.
Is it? It's that soon? Wow.
Dang. Cool.
I love GDQ, and it will be fun to watch Destiny get played in GDQ.
Definitely.
Do you know what they're doing, Glad? Are they doing Last Wish?
Last Wish, yeah.
I haven't pulled up.
They're trying to speed run it.
Mm-hmm.
Last Wish all encounters, Last Wish all bosses.
Oh, that's what you're looking at? There's different categories? I mean...
I think if it's in the middle of, their run.
Well, I mean, you have to do everything in Last Wish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That'll be fun to watch. I love GDQ. It's just a fun thing to watch. Like you get to see people who are just ridiculously good at games. So some people do like play the game like as the designers intended and like are just really good at it. And some people just break the game and like bypass huge parts of it. It'll be fun to see Destiny kind of what they do with Destiny in that.
Yeah, dude, I'm disappointed I don't see Sekiro on the list, man. That's the one I wanted. I wanted to see that.
That would be good.
I've actually watched a few speedruns of Sekiro. It's been cool.
Oh, yeah, they're crazy.
How fast are they?
It's like 30 minutes.
Wow.
Jeez.
Pretty quick.
20 something minutes, maybe.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
One of the
See
best ones I
20,
ever
30
saw was, I think it was Dark Souls 2, no hit run, speed run.
Yeah.
And the guy never gets hit going through the whole game. Like, oh my God. Imagine how much crack.
Apparently, a guy did every single one.
All three of them never got hit?
Did.
Yeah.
Every single Dark Souls. Yep.
Wow.
Back to
I'm
back.
going to be Googling that tonight. I want to
Insane.
watch that.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day, and I was like, "Holy crap, that's actually nuts!"
Think of the practice that
Ridiculous
takes.
skills.
Apparently,
Lord.
he practiced for like years, like
You'd have to.
multiple. Yeah.
It's all like muscle memory. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, game's done quick.
I mean, there's so many things in Dark Souls that can just,
especially in boss fights.
Yeah, you get hit by, you're running on a rooftop and you get sniped by an arrow from like, 10 million yards away.
Oh boy, those archers. Dark Souls 1.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Sometimes I also like to watch. Do you guys ever watch just like full like Let's Plays of game that you've already played, but you just kind of
See
want
how
to
someone else
re-experience again?
I have done, yeah.
Like I watch a lot like on my iPhone, kind of on the bedside table as I'm going to sleep, just because it's fun.
I have not.
It actually kind of works out with, and why I spend a lot of time in Tufty's stream is because we play a lot of the similar games, but I stream in the day, but then Tufty starts in the evening. So I get to basically watch what I've done. So that works out nicely. And I always enjoy that because people play games differently.
Yeah,
it's
for
fun
sure.
to see
Yep.
how did this other person go about this same encounter.
Yep.
I do the same. I find Tefty's voice to be very relaxing too. It actually, it's like
Briar
it's like a lullaby.
Briar kicks off his slippers by the fire, puts on Tefty.
It's like a sleeping pill, and I don't mean that
That's
in a bad
it.
way. Like he's boring.
That's
It's
it.
just-
It's 2020.
Put you right to
bed.
It's time to start playing some death metal in the background.
I just
Justin
want another
says,
Bloodborne. I out of all the
oh,
Souls
me
games,
too, man.
Bloodborne is my favorite combat style.
I agree. It's 100% my favorite.
It encourages aggressive fighting, and that's the big difference between Dark
Sekiro
Souls.
does that too.
Yeah, but Sekira's more like if you try to play Sekiro like Dark Souls, you're gonna fail.
Yeah, you get punished
Because it's not anything like it at all. And that's what I learned very quickly. I was like, okay, this is clearly all about breaking posture and parrying and not actually dodging and countering. Whereas Bloodborne is dodging and countering, but if you get fucked up, you stay in there and you get your health back.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about it.
You know, there's been like a recent spat of announcements of former PlayStation exclusive games coming to PC. And like I keep wishing that Bloodborne gets added to that list because I'd love to see the Bloodborne was a great game.
Yeah.
But it ran at like 7 frames per second, I believe.
It's not
It struggled.
bad, but it's 20 to 30.
It's my game of the decade. I think Bloodborne's a masterpiece.
Absolutely.
I'm
But
playing
I'd love
it
to
this
see it
year. I
come
have
to
not
PC.
yet.
And then a sequel would be unbelievable.
I think that's what's going on.
I'm praying. My dream is that they make a second one.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like that's my. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just hope they don't fuck with the combat system. I hope they don't try to do anything too crazy because what they did made it work.
You don't want From Software to do anything crazy. Good luck. But yeah, I was gonna say my theory is, and especially you can see, like it looks like Sony's holding on to the exclusivity and the licensing, so they'll do a remaster like you saw with The Last of Us. So you get your remaster, buy you a little more time. Get that.
I would
for
take a
PS5.
remaster, even on
I'd take a
PS5.
remaster. I think
That'd be
a lot of
fine.
people will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if it ran at
60.
fuck, I'll take a consistent 30. To be honest with you,
It would cook at 60.
The PS4 Pro does a pretty good job of keeping it at 30.
yeah.
It does, huh? Yeah. I played it on there. I replayed it.
Okay, I haven't played it since I got a PS4 Pro.
Oh yeah, the PS4 Pro definitely helped the frame rate stabilize on
I'm
there.
waiting for Elden Ring. Okay?
I am looking
I
forward to
don't
that,
want to know
too.
what the hell that is. We
I
have
want a
an
little
idea.
Red Wedding plus Bloodborne. Hell yeah.
I'm sure that's gonna be crazy. But yeah, I was gonna say I feel like there's a second one behind that as well. So
You think?
Please.
because otherwise Sony would have done what you're saying. Like we're seeing Death Stranding on the PC. Like why wouldn't Bloodborne be on the PC
The only-
now if Sony didn't want a piece of it still?
Only problem with Bloodborne with the sequel is that it's a contained story.
Okay, no spoilers.
It will.
Playing it.
Have you not played it?
No, it's on my list. Like on my list.
Fran, what have you been
that's
doing?
great.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fran,
Well, I
you need
played-
to do that immediately.
Fran,
I
it's
know.
2020.
DLCs.
Come on, man.
And the
Yeah, 'cause
DLC.
The DLC monsters are amazing. Yeah.
Should I install that before I play it?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Probably,
definitely.
right?
Yeah.
A complete run involves the DLC now. Yeah,
but
Old Hunters.
I played Demon Souls, like not a ton, but originally that. I mean, it was like the start of all this, and then I just never.
I've actually never played that. Is it worth going back to Demon Souls?
It's hard to because like none of the online stuff works anymore. But
Yeah.
I don't even.
Did that come out on PlayStation 4 or is it still on PS3 only?
It's just PS3, right? Yeah, I think still just.
You can play it on your PS5 because apparently you can play everything on your PS5.
I can't play shit on my PS5 because I don't have one yet.
I forget what happens when you go back to
It
it.
didn't come with your Elite controller.
No. That's
But
what
anyway,
we now, I guess. Thanks for fucking that up for me. 2 hours of good feelings about that. Kevin
I love
Dorsey
those
says
types of
Hedgehog. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I love those types of games. I beat Sekiro, and then I was actually into New Game Plus, and now you keep thinking about playing it, and I'm like, I should
Time
probably
to play
try
Code
Bloodborne.
Vein, Fran.
I've played. a little
No,
bit.
you need to play
It's no
Bloodborne. If you've
Bloodborne.
never played Bloodborne,
Well,
what the hell, man?
obviously.
Also,
Trust me,
Bloodborne.
that's
Bloodborne New Game
Especially if you're a
Plus.
fan of.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Bloodborne is my favorite. I think it might be my favorite like world that they've ever made.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
it's just it's so cool.
it's insane. Yeah, I've seen.
And it's so original. Like,
seen
you don't
most of
see
it.
that era, in games.
Yeah.
Kevin Dorsey says, hedgehog or ferret? I will be buying one based on your answer.
Fair.
Well, I feel like
100%.
more people have ferrets. I'm gonna go with hedgehog.
Hedgehog is the answer. Ferrets stink. They are
they do.
long
But they're
rats.
like cat dogs.
They are nasty.
dog. It's a
They're
cat-
actually
a
illegal
cat
in New
otter.
York City because they're an infestation.
Ferrets are.
Ferrets are gross. Don't get a
Yeah.
ferret.
No.
Your whole house
Ferrets
smells like
are
ferret. It's
horrible.
gross.
I'm gonna vote.
Get a
chinchilla.
hedgehog like Sonic the Hedgehog. It's cool.
Yeah.
I'd vote hedgehog as well.
Yeah, you might have little human teeth too that you could look at.
Oh gosh.
I'm going with a chinchilla.
Chinchilla is the correct answer.
Yeah, that's the best of all of
You
those.
should go with
weird
a
options.
capybara. Get one of those.
Get a dog. Hugo Rune says, did you guys see Hugo Rune's tweet over Christmas? He got he got like 3 books full of like basically like crazy ass questions. So we can expect to hear a lot of Hugo Rune's questions.
The first ones were amazing, so I'm excited.
Yeah. All right. First emergency question of the year. I did warn you last week. What's your favorite drink? If you found out it was actually made out of wasp urine and always had been, would it still be your favorite? And would you carry on drinking it? Wasp urine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's your favorite drink.
Yeah.
I mean, why do I care about the wasp urine?
Yeah.
Is it
I
deadly?
mean, how much can they pee? They're tiny little things.
Yeah, there's so many though. That's a lot of BPs,
Yeah, that doesn't mean
dude.
the whole thing, right?
Yeah, that distillery though. Wow.
I would.
I wouldn't work there. I'm allergic to bees. Terrible.
So it's
That's
funny. I have a resounding yes on this because my favorite drink, supposedly, it's a secret recipe, right, for Campari, but it's supposedly the red dye in it is made from bugs.
Oh.
So it's actually like just coincidentally, yeah. I'm like yes, and I still do. I mean, it's not wasp urine, whatever that is. But.
I mean, if you have a favorite something and you find out something disgusting, and I feel like that's happened to everybody at some point. Like you love eating Jell-O, and then you're like, that's made out of horses' hooves. You're like, okay. Doesn't stop you from eating it, right? Well, maybe it does.
Yeah, it might.
You gotta draw the line.
I'm looking at Watts right now, and I'm like, yeah, maybe it does. Clue says, is medium rare the only option? I mean, it is, though, right? Lol? No, man. Rare.
Rare. Yeah, rare is also the
Have the balls to go full rare. Don't whoop out.
I think this depends on the chef, whoever's cooking it, because like there's various ways to cook cuts of meat that are intended to be a certain rarity for optimum level.
For sure. I don't think there's anything wrong with medium rare. If you eat your steak medium rare, you're doing it right. But I also don't think if you prefer your steak rare, there's anything wrong with that too, because rare steaks is what I prefer, like a thicker American meat. But I will say I prefer Wagyu medium rare. I don't know if that just ends up how it's being cooked every time I cook it, because it cooks faster because of all the fat. But
I wonder if you're having it at better restaurants who tend to be more on the rare side anyway.
Yeah.
Because I find that's a thing. Like if you go to a nicer restaurant, they tend like medium rare steak at a nice restaurant looks like a rare steak at Outback Steakhouse.
True.
Yeah.
If you ask for a rare steak at Outback Steakhouse, and go fuck yourself. They don't even know how to do it.
Or you could be like Miss Jerry's and go to a fancy steak restaurant and order a steak well done.
No, nobody's doing that. That's fucked up.
Just get like
if you order like even medium is just really pushing it,
It's repulsive, I would say.
yeah, we can go with that. And
it's like you're disrespecting the cow.
Oh yeah,
and the
And the
farmer
chef.
who raised the cow, the chef, and all the people you're eating with.
Yep. I worked at multiple restaurants growing up, and then I got a chance to work at like a higher end American French cuisine restaurant. And every time somebody ordered anything over medium rare, the chef would lose his mind. He would freak out because he's like, what am I paying for this meat for? If you're just going to sit here and you're just going to ruin it, because all that you're doing is you're cooking the flavor out of the meat. He's spending all this money on high quality meat, and you're just searing the flavor out of it.
Yeah,
correct
is what you're doing.
Yeah, if I know it's high quality, I'm down with medium rare. But
if I don't think it's high quality, I'm ordering something
Fran
else.
goes medium. Is that what we're hearing?
I do. Yeah,
Fran
but
doesn't like the
only-
medium.
but-
Oh
You
no,
fucking
That's
monster.
only no, but meaning anytime I get a really good one that I know like it's high end, like for sure, medium rare, no problem.
Have
But
you ever ordered a
frankly,
steak
meaning-
blue?
No, I've tried blue steak before. I
15
recall,
seconds,
yeah.
15 seconds.
Just it's not.
That's got to
no.
be a really good piece
I
of
don't-
meat.
I just don't like the texture's important to me, so it's still got to be like cooked. That's why, frankly, rare is just harder to. I don't know. It's just chewier.
Really? I find
yeah.
well done steak to be more chewy.
It depends on what type
Depends
of
on the
steak you're
cut.
getting and everything, but yeah, it depends on the cut exactly. So
Ribeye all the way.
Ribeye is a good.
we have
Fatty
some
is
good
cut.
steak places in SF, so I just don't go enough. So
Mike's Murmur says, question for everyone. What is your favorite winter food? Winter food.
winter
Winter
Pineapple on pizza.
I mean, that's the
delicious.
best.
That's good all
thing
year
that
round.
Yeah, that's
All year round.
Winter food.
Chili, maybe. Good old hot pot of chili is always nice in winter.
That is nice.
Fills
That
you up,
warms your
makes you feel
body
comfy
and your
warm.
soul.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Soup is always a go-to in the winter. I never eat soup in the summertime.
I
love it
I'll
in the
eat
winter.
soup all year, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, what if
Love
it's
soup.
like super delicious soup?
Gazpacho.
I mean, like I'll make an exception if somebody's like really selling me on the soup, but it's not like a go-to on a hot day.
So we're talking about a food that we eat when we're like cold, because I don't really adjust my diet too
Yeah,
much
that's what I was thinking. but-
between like seasons.
No.
There's got to be something
Yeah,
where
like,
you're
there's
like, I
nothing you
eat
find
that and I'm
yourself going to.
cozy. I'm cozy comfy when I eat this thing.
I mean, as a kid, I used to love hot chocolate with marshmallows.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's a good
yes.
one.
That's a
Definitely.
few. That's marshmallows. We can count that. as a
I'm gonna go
For
make
sure.
some hot chocolate right
Yeah.
after this
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, with marshmallows, though, I always
Oh,
had
yeah.
tons of little marshmallows in it.
Ringo the Dingo says, if you could have one quality of life change for your beard, what would it be?
Oh, that when you eat, it goes like food can pass through it.
Oh yeah, Teflon beard. would be
resistant?
great.
This
Food
would be
resistant
amazing.
beard. Yeah, non-stick beard.
Drink,
That's it.
water,
That is
What's
food
that mean, though?
resistant.
This is the way.
This, yeah, definitely.
But yeah, like just the pants that the stuff just drains off it.
Boom.
Right. Yeah.
Egg yolk, boom, rolls right off.
yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
Comes right off.
Yeah.
Like water off a duck's back.
interesting.
Yeah.
I guess the other thing would be if I could, once I line it up, wherever I would cut off the hair, shave it off, it just doesn't grow there until I command it to.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. That'd be
You know what I
nice.
Yeah,
mean?
none of those like
Yeah.
little
Because mine goes
spots.
way up by my eye.
Yeah.
Mm.
I hate it, and it looks really terrible if I just let all that grow in.
Yep.
Yeah. I got
Yeah,
a buddy
like you still have to
who's
shave.
like that, like way up here.
Mm-hmm. It's literally it connects to these little peach fuzz by my eye. It's terrible.
That's how you
Wow.
stay warm right there.
Yeah.
Right.
That's optimal warmth.
Let that grow. Eat some soup. Stay warm in the
Yeah.
wintertime.
Yeah. You don't have to worry. Just slapping it in there. It's great.
Dreadnought asks, and this one's specifically for Glad: is anything between buns a sandwich?
No, I think for a sandwich there has to be some sort of meat or like vegetable or cheese, like a mixture of those to some extent. You know what I mean? I don't think a sandwich is just two pieces of bread with something in the middle.
So
I think
people try to
this
make
is
the
a
hot dog
stupid
argument.
question, and it's gone too far. You know a sandwich when you see it. It's like porn. You know it when you see it.
Yeah.
You don't have to explain what it is. You just know it when you see it.
Yeah. I agree with all of this.
Yeah,
It's
like if
stupid
you
that you're trying. Yeah.
like what would be an example of something that's really not a sandwich?
A hot dog. People try to do this with hot dogs. They're like, it's really
Yeah.
just a sandwich. You're like,
Go fuck yourself. It's
Well,
not a sandwich. It's a hot dog.
I
Yeah.
think the thing with the hot dog is the bun, definitely.
mhm.
Yeah.
It's more
Yeah.
like a
it's encasing the dog.
yeah.
Just
But
remember
you can
what
eat
Briar
that hot
said.
dog also on its own. I mean, you can
True.
make that argument, I guess.
Are you
You
confu-
can.
you looking
can go
at
straight
something?
wiener.
Are you confused if it's a sandwich? Sandwiches are like porn, so
Yeah.
figure it out.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's definitely some stuff you can put in between bread that is like, all right, that's just
Well, for instance,
Weird.
another slice of bread. That doesn't make it a sandwich.
yeah,
No, that's just 3 pieces of bread.
That's three
That is
pieces of bread.
very
Exactly.
That's a quarter of a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
That's all you did.
And a hamburger is not a sandwich
Mhm.
because the type of bread used, right?
No,
Or
I
the
would,
I would.
type of-
Hamburger's
Say
not
it
a
is
sandwich. Yeah, that's a sandwich.
I would consider a hamburger a sandwich.
You just
Okay.
wouldn't call it that. Like,
Yeah,
what are you, a
it just
weirdo?
I'll
has
take
its
a
own name.
hamburger sandwich, matey.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's what pirates eat. Okay, now it makes sense. Hamburger.
See, if you went and ordered a burger sandwich, you'd get weird looks.
sandwich. You would, yeah. Can I have a ham sandwich? That's a very different thing.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it not a sandwich. It's just it would be stupid to do that.
If you put gummy bears, would it? I don't.
Yeah,
Gummy
Gummy
bear
bears.
Candy.
gummy
sandwich.
sandwich.
Candy sandwich.
Gummy sandwich. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dreadnought says, upon your death, you're giving a clipboard and asked to complete a survey about your life, rating your experience, and giving you recommendations how to improve it. How would you respond, and what are your suggestions? All right, you got a clipboard. You're going to rate your own life.
Wow.
What are the questions?
Let's just start with a score.
That is
0
a
out of
loaded
10.
question. Holy crap.
0 out of 10. Rate your life.
But this is after living the other part of my life?
No.
Yeah.
Let's say you get hit by a bus
it's like right now.
right now.
Oh,
Jeez.
okay.
Bus
Oh.
crashes into your place of dwelling, kills you. You find yourself somewhere with a clipboard that says "Rate your life."
You're at the
IGN.
gates of heaven or hell. You don't know
IGN
which
wants
way
you
you're
to-
going, and you get a clipboard.
I'd be at least a 9. Like the only reason I'm docking a point is because I wish I would have released more records in my lifetime.
It's a high rating, Ted.
I got a good life. What can I say?
Very
Got a good
happy.
life. I'm happy.
It's hard to answer that question because there's still so much life to live.
Yeah.
It
You
is
know?
difficult.
I feel like the younger I was that I had to answer that question, the lower my score was going to be,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
same.
because I was kind of a shitheel when I was a kid, and I kind of got nicer as I went along. You know what I mean?
You know, can we revisit this question during the month of 420?
I believe we should put a little spin on this question.
Yes. For 2020.
I mean, yeah. As far as just being content and generally happy, I'd give it like a 8.59.
That's good. That's nice high score. I like it.
8.59.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to rate in there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Because
just
you go back and you
thinking-
look at stuff and you're like, if your childhood was bad, but like right now it's really good, what kind of score do you give
Yeah,
that?
is it your whole life? It's the
Like,
present.
am I rating my behavior, like my happiness, or my impact on others?
Exactly.
That's the thing. It's
Brian
like you
was very
can.
happy being an asshole kid.
Right? I was actually. I was perfectly content being a complete ass.
It's
Turns
almost
out.
like how do you define like success in a life? And for me, it'd be about just being, happy.
I
Just
did get
enjoy-
an Xbox Elite Series 2 controller, so I'll go 10. Zachary Richens says, everyone here is a brand new team of chefs for Wendy's. They give you the task of making their chili even better. Even better. What new
Even
ingredients
better.
do you put in?
I'm
I
gonna
think we're throwing
Can we
this
get a
thing
list
out.
of ingredients?
I'm gonna go with
That's like-
pineapple. Let's throw some pineapple in there.
What
I'm
is
going to go with
you and
foods I can
pineapple?
identify to start with.
I'm just gonna throw some of the frosty in there.
Oh, nice. So you have
That's
some
actually- I
pineapple,
like how
some
it works.
frosty in there. I
Peanut
like it.
butter.
I
You
ordered
actually can
chili,
put in
but
chili.
fuck it, this frosty's delicious.
Yeah.
I saw wasp urine in chat. That's the one.
That's the winner answer right there.
Oh man, I'm so hungry. It's that time of the show, Briar.
Sure is. All right,
How
last
many more
question.
questions we got about food?
That's it. Zabe says, who all thinks the decade is technically not over until the end of 2021?
I am
Literally no one.
I am not a flat earther, so no, I do
That
not
is
think
bad
that.
math, Zabe. That is bad. Counting starts at 0.
Yeah, so you go 1,000 is 1, 2,
Yes.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 would be full 10 years.
So do you count it? You count this
Wait,
is still the
wait,
last
wait,
decade?
No.
No.
0 to 1 would be 1,
You're correct.
2,
See-
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
It has to do with the
that's what
first
people are
year. It
saying.
has to do with the first
People
year.
are saying this is the beginning of the 20th, so that's not.
Yeah.
But
But-
There
well,
yet, right?
but if you're counting it from what 2010 or 2009, you could say I'm counting it from
2000
2007. So
January 1st,
2007 to
2010
2020 isn't
Is your
10
0
years.
spot.
Listen, when you are born,
Zero.
when you're born, you're
Throw it
zero. All right.
Yeah.
Nobody says
Correct.
you're zero. They say, oh, you're 3 months, you're 4 months, you're 6 months, blah, blah, blah. When you turn one, you turn one. That's a whole year because when
Right.
you're born, you've begun the year. You just are not counting that as a full year yet. So you're technically 0. And then you become 1 up until,
Right.
that's how the decade is counted.
Yeah.
It's a silly question. It's because it's 2020. It's an even number. That's why it's exciting. We don't really care how long it's
Yes.
been.
It's because it's
And
logical.
it has been 10 years since
Once you get to
2010.
2021, you've had a full year of the 2020s already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's been the exact same amount of time since it was 2010. when that started. That's why it's exciting.
Yeah. It all goes back down to where do you start counting? You start counting at 0.
Yeah.
And we're at 0 right now for the next
0
part.
is a very important number, and a lot of people seem to forget about it. So
Yeah.
don't
That's right.
offend your mathematicians out there. Don't forget about 0.
Got to give 0 its due. That's it. That was the questions. We actually
Great, Andy.
very confusing podcast tonight.
Yeah, all over.
You learned a lot about stuff like wasp urine. It's great.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right. That's the
guess.
show, right? That's our first
Yes.
episode of 2020.
Really start off the year with a
169
bang.
in the 2020.
Yeah. I already feel better.
169.
Yeah.
Yep.
Episode 169.
I
Glad.
heard that 169 wasn't until episode 170, though. I don't know. Andy.
But
Let's
if
just
you were in
drop
the
it.
room, I would throw
Let's
this
just
thing.
drop it.
Glad, where can people find you?
On Twitch, twitch.tv/glad. Finally got rid of that X. I don't know if I had the X last time I was here.
I think you did, yeah.
I
Did
think
I?
so. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But congrats on just
YouTube.
getting Glad with the double D. Right?
Yep, always the double D's. YouTube, glad, GLADD. And Twitter, glad on Twitch. 2 D's again and glad.
How's the hunt for the Glad handle on Twitter coming?
I am trying and I don't know who to reach out to.
I say
Fair
we
enough.
just start knocking skulls. Let's go on Twitter, start knocking skulls till we get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The person's account hasn't had any activity for years.
It's always the way.
and it and it's and
This
all
is the
their
way.
stuff is like completely blocked. Like nobody can view it.
Is a conspiracy.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Their like last post was, "Yo, this Obama guy's crazy, isn't he? I think I might vote for him."
No, it's literally been like 7 years. I can't even remember. It's insane.
Wow. Well, hopefully 2020 things turn around for that.
That's right.
Yeah, well,
Right.
New decade,
got a
right?
year to go.
New decade,
Yeah.
new you.
Fran, where can people find you?
You can find me right here on Twitch, which is FM3_. Hopefully I get to drop that one day, but just FM3_ right here on Twitch, and Fran Mirabella on Twitter.
Me, probably. I am Miss 5000 Watts. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Just look for Miss 5000 Watts.
You can find me over on YouTube. I'm Briar Rabbit. I will be actually comparing 2 coffee makers this week. I got 2 coffee makers for Christmas.
Ooh.
Nice.
An espresso and a Keurig that does like the whipped cream stuff.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I do like those.
Right? It makes
Oh, no.
espresso.
No.
Yeah. Keurig that makes
Yeah.
espresso and does like whipped cream.
Yeah,
Same
fun.
price. I don't know what the prices were. They were given. I'm going to compare them, and I will tell you which coffee maker I'm going to send to Fran next year as a Christmas gift.
Excellent.
First of all, Nespresso is better, and second of all, what are you making that's not just espresso?
Side question that I forgot to ask. Did anyone get their missing Christmas presents? Fran, did you get your
I did. Watts, I forgot
No.
to mention it, but I did.
Perfect.
There's socks that said, "If you can read this, give me a beer."
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
On the bottom of the sock. They're great. I wore them. My wife didn't love them. I'll be honest.
I'm still waiting for my Bill Murray painting, but I'm excited.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
hopefully
that's
soon.
still probably got like almost 2 weeks to get there.
That's okay.
Oh
Well,
my God.
Ashes has not made it there yet either, because it's
Ah.
not really right around the corner. So
No.
Yep.
some delivery issues.
And I am Tefty Teft. If you want to talk to me, you can talk to me at Teft on Twitter. Also, I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/Tefty Teft. And also, my wife and I just released our second album for our Tefty Memes brand as of, so 2 albums in 2019. Looking forward to doing more stuff this year. You can always look for that. If you search Tefty in any of the streaming platforms, it should pop up on there. Album's called Winter Dreams. Really proud of it. And yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Ash did the cover too.
Ash did the cover. Yeah, she
Yeah.
killed it on that cover. Looks amazing.
Yeah.
So,
If the music's as good as the cover, I'm sold.
It is.
oh, I don't know, bro.
No pressure.
Thank you very much for watching, guys. Appreciate all the support. Shout out to our Patreons, our Twitch subs, and all the live viewers, everyone listening on the podcast format, and on YouTube as well. Everybody who leaves a comment
supporting us
on
there.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Especially that guy who
everybody.
leaves the Destiny starts here. Talk. Destiny talk starts here.
You're doing
Doing
God's
their
work.
job for us. We
That's right.
appreciate that.
This year you
Get
got
that
some work to
person on
do,
the show.
maybe.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next week for another show. GG's, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.